good afternoon, good evening. Yeah, one of those things. What's up, Spence?
Not much.
I see you made. I think is it your television or mine? Something is really loud. Oh, I think you got YouTube open, right?
I just muted it.
You muted it. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Oh,
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Spence, you doing stuff over there? You good? Uh-oh, we lost Spence. We lost Spence. No worries, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the building tonight. It is going to be an absolute fire show. Fire show. This is going to be one for the ages. I already know it. If you didn't see the title, yes, we got special guests. And yeah, those special guests, that special guest is going to be. You got to turn that one. Yeah. You got to turn that one. We got them coming in and out. So you just make sure you mute all of your stuff. You got.
am I back?
You're back, but you're causing probably a whole lot of mess online as far as audio is concerned. Give me one second. Audio is concerned. Yeah, you are not sounding good. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what's going on. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what's going on. Additional controls. We are struggle streaming as the lead attorney would say. I don't know. You might want to bounce out again. I don't know. You might want to bounce out again. Come back. Can you? You're frozen. Yep. Yep. As always, y'all know it's all typical for Turf. Technical difficulties are a common thing. But Spencer's he gets on. We should probably just stop trying to start at 8. I don't know, because he can barely get home at that time. You got to remember, we got kids that are very, very active. Shout out to Jack. He's got 2 beautiful children, man, and they are super busy. Shout out to my main man, Gunsmoke, in the building. Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight, man. Pineapples don't grow on trees. You're right about that one, homeboy. Hey, my main man, Paul Davis in the building. What's good, fellas? What's good? Yeah, y'all know we're going to talk a whole lot of football. Whole first hour and a half is all football. All football. So.
Better?
Yeah, absolutely. Much better. Spence is back in the building. Way million times better. I don't know what you did, but it was not good. You're killing us.
We're in tech, man. It's like that's what we do. We make things better.
Right.
We make them worse.
Absolutely. I agree. So it's good, man. I was just informing everybody, obviously you got duties, you got things to do just like we all do when we got kids, man. How's the day going? Oh, we lost him. He'll be right back. Yeah. I don't even know if he heard me at all. I mean, yeah, you're back. You dropped. Oh, so you got stuff on your lap. That's what it is. That's gonna be step 101 right there, right? Equipment, bro. Equipment. Don't worry, we gonna get Spence right, I promise you. We gonna get Spence right.
I'm a noob.
Yep. But yeah, the streaming stuff, man, it can eat up a lot of your situation. And usually it's the internet is the bandwidth, but obviously that CPU it can start choking that up too, man. And that's pretty much probably what you're dealing with, which is why you got to shut stuff down. I'm preaching to the choir, ladies and gentlemen. This man is better versed at this stuff than I. Yeah, man. So like I was saying, just saying you got a busy life, man. Jack Bella, you got.
We all do.
Yeah, two of them running you rampant in sports, man, and just saying, "How's the day going, man?" Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. It's Thursday, so that's always good. It's always good news. Almost the weekend.
Exactly.
It's almost.
I agree.
Almost Friday, like.
Yep.
So my son does. My son does posts every Thursday.
Yeah.
Post is almost Friday.
That's what's up.
Almost Friday.
Hey, we got a question from Paul in the building, but Captain Rafa. Hi, what's up, nation? What's good, Rafa? Good to see you, man. I caught you on a few things, man. I'm always stalking, all the real diehards, man. Salute to Rafa. That's one of my guys, man. Then, of course, man, Paul in the building. Did we already discuss Mac's contract? We have not. And I am curious to hear what Spence has to say about that. That'll be interesting. That's a great question. It's a great question.
Absolutely. Mac, I mean, he's one of the best players in the NFL. Like,
bingo.
Definitely one of the best defensive players. To me, that's a no-brainer contract.
Yep.
It's a no-brainer.
I agree. No brainer at all. Billy Davis in the building. My guy Billy, man. I'm sorry. You can hear me just fine, right, Spence?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm trying to dial down my sound. I don't think it's been great online. It's too loud. I don't know. So that's the thing. You get equipment, and then you got to learn how to make sure you're in front of the equipment, right? You're at the microphone the same way every time. Otherwise, if you don't calibrate it like all other kind of stuff, then it, Yeah, so that's what that is. Brent, my man Brent is in the building. Fellas, I'm here. I'm listening, but feeding dogs and heading to bed soon. Where are you at again, Brent? Because you heading to bed soon. It's 8:14. It's only 9. You have to be in another country. That's my guess, right? He has to be.
Or he's
just an early bird.
Yeah, or he's an early bird.
Yeah, early bird. Early bird. Another Paul Davis. Why is everyone talking DK? I'd love to know what you think about DK. I would want DK yesterday. You don't want DK?
Not interested in DK.
Ooh, and why is that, Spence? Hey, people, we gotta keep these questions. Yeah, go ahead.
The price tag's too much. First and a third, and then you want $30 million a year. I'm gonna be the unpopular one in the room that says DK Metcalf is not worth $30 million.
No, absolutely. See, I didn't. Go ahead.
Secondarily, like they already did. Katie Nolan interviewed him like a month ago, I want to say, and he specifically said he has no interest in playing in Massachusetts, none. He said he doesn't. He said the state has too many syllables. It's too cold. He doesn't want to be there. He said everything he needed to say in that interview.
Right. That is crazy.
Good player. I would consider trying to trade for him. Not a first and a third though.
No, and that was the problem I had. I always had a problem with that first, let alone the third. I'm struggling with the third, and you put a first. That's insane. I mean, no, absolutely not for those. Not for that particular.
He's not like AJ Brown. Like somebody on Twitter actually brought this up in one of the Patriot Twitter posts. Was like all day long I'd go for I would have drafted him. I would have rather drafted him over N'Keal Harry, the guy we drafted. Right. That was the whole thing about that draft. We could have had him,
correct,
DK or AJ Brown, and we chose the worst of the three. right?
Very true.
I would have rather drafted AJ Brown. AJ Brown wanted to be a Patriot.
Right.
He wanted to be a Patriot. He was interviewed at the combine, and he said he wanted to be a Patriot. He wanted to play with Tom Brady.
Right.
And what do? We draft the other guy because AJ Brown was too. Belichick thought he was too much of a diva.
Yeah. No, you're right.
That was really it. Like, they did the interviews at the combine. Belichick interviewed them both. His scouts told him that, basically it's a coin flip between these two guys. Like, see who you like better, and we'll draft that person.
Right.
And N'Keal Harry won the interview. That's what it comes down to. N'Keal Harry won the interview.
Nah, yeah.
He asked him if he'd be willing. He's a willing blocker. He said, "I will run through a brick wall for you."
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. And that's what all coaches want to hear, right? And they interview AJ Brown. What does he say? I want to be the best receiver in the league.
Bingo.
Right? It's a me answer, not a team answer. And that'll kill you on a coach front every time.
100%. Yep, I don't disagree.
Yeah, but it's I think DK maybe has another year or two left of quality football in him, and then it's going to start to erode.
And we're here, so why not continue to talk about it? I don't know if you saw, shout out to my guys, Raider Syndicate. We already been after it, and I don't know if you saw his particular show with I can't believe I'm drawing a blank of the hottest podcaster right now on the planet in sports, if you will, Shannon Sharp. He had a show with Shannon. Did you see that? And I mean, here it is. You have a gold jacket wear that is literally the epitome of taking care of his body the best way you know how, from the era he came up in, and just trying to pass on a little advice to a young buck, a young rookie, and the kids like just flat out just not, and blatantly looking like a fool, in my opinion, on television with the answer and the reply. So it's very, very different than something else that, and I have to bring this up too, because I rarely get in the beefs on any of the sites, right? I need to start doing it, talking, with the fingers and getting on, threads. But somebody brought up, Travis Hunter and his answer to, how he feels about baseball and Ohtani, as far as what Ohtani's doing. And he's like, he thinks you got to do much more in football if you're playing both sides of the ball. And I mean, what is wrong with that answer? Why is that considered arrogant? Why is that considered disrespectful to Ohtani? And these were some of the answers and the things that people were saying. Exactly. That's a confident young kid that is doing what nobody else has. And I mean, if that's his true, honest opinion, why is that disrespectful? He didn't say Ohtani sucked.
In football, to play offense and defense at the highest level, like he's been doing, that is very difficult to do.
Right.
Right. I mean, being a 20-game winner and a 50 home run hitter that's a different world.
It is. It is.
They're both incredibly difficult to do, and I would not, and I would definitely put those two on the same pedestal, right?
Right.
Like, if Travis Hunter is able to come to the NFL and play both ways,
right?
I mean, who's done that?
Man,
who's done that full time?
Yeah.
I mean, we've had Deion Sanders come on for a gadget play or whatever, right? That's it.
I couldn't agree more, man. Yes. No, I couldn't agree more, man. And again, this is one of the brothers, man. Like, I love this guy, and I'm not saying he was the one that specifically made a comment like it was disrespectful. I saw somewhere in the thread it was disrespectful to say what he said, or I thought that was just so weird. It's like, now we're going back to shut up and dribble. That's how I started to feel about it. And you know what I'm saying?
You know what?
Yeah.
It gets simpler than that. It's Dodger fans. Travis Hunter said that, and some Dodger fan got his feelings hurt.
A lot of people don't like Colorado either. The Colorado boys. It's that the Dion hate. I don't know. David Colucci, you are my guy, man. Shout out to David. He's a diehard Raider fan. I'm pretty sure he's got seasons. I've seen him at pretty much every game I've gone to. That's where the thread came from. Again, Travis Hunter thinks it's harder to play both ways in football than baseball. And people had a conniption fit. Someone actually said it was disrespect. And like he doesn't know anything. I'm like, this is wild. I just thought that was wild. So that's gonna be a nice, good cut up in the Opus clip. Yeah, I just gave him a shout out.
I mean, Travis Hunter's probably never played baseball, so he doesn't understand just how difficult to do what Shohei had done.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
It's not to take anything away from Travis Hunter, because playing both ways in football is next level.
Bingo. But I derailed us enough. I want to go back to where we was at so we could button it up.
All right.
Right, DK Metcalf, right? That's where we were at. Nobody's giving up a first. I'm struggling with giving up a third. I'll give up compensation, cash, all day. But I'm not giving up.
I think you're starting at the 1. That's where you're starting.
That's crazy. There's no way.
Talking about a Pro Bowler in his prime.
No, he's what, 29? How old is he?
Yeah, he's got probably 2 years left before he's gonna start showing.
There's no way. There's no way. It's not worth it. Not with this draft. This draft is crazy.
Right. I completely agree with you, Terrence. I would do draft first. And see what I got.
Right.
Like as opposed to signing DK Metcalf, because I mean, you could have the next DK Metcalf. I think what was he, like a 3rd or 4th round pick?
Correct. 100%. 100%.
But I'll tell you right now, there's another DK Metcalf in this draft.
Oh yes, there's absolutely one.
Yeah.
There's more than one actually. I think there's actually one, but on the defensive side that is literally like identical in statistics, if you will. But yeah, you're right. This draft is littered, ladies and gentlemen. It is filthy. It's filthy.
People are finally starting to stop talking smack about this draft. Like the initial run on this draft class was that it was bad.
Yeah.
Right? You remember that? It's a bad draft class. Nobody's gonna get anything out of this. Now people are seeing the combine and they're like, oh wait, these guys are actually pretty good.
Yes.
And there's actually a lot of depth in here on the line.
Yep.
Oh wait, there's a lot of top tier linebackers and safeties in this draft. Oh.
It's everything, dude. Shout out to my guy John Leon. Salute Nation, man. As always, man. Appreciate you showing up, man. Showing love. These people are like clockwork, man. They clearly love Raiders. They're fans just like we are. Well, I am. Spencer. This is, he's just suffering through that deal. But we gonna take care of Spence anyways. We don't mind Patriots
I'm a
with that respect. Guy. Exactly, sports guy.
I got nothing against the Raiders
through and through. Lorenzo. Hi guys, what's up, Lorenzo? What's up with you, man? Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. And yeah, we talking everything, man. And I'll tell you guys right now, in about an hour, it is going to be all boxing, and for very good reason. Everybody read up. Boxing is changing before your eyes. Just trust me, and you do not want to miss come 9:30. That is a promise. Speaking of the devil, Raider Transplant. Spence and Turf, salute to the chat. Raider Paul in the building. Oh, God. Raider Paul is right down the street, Spence. Yeah, he's in San Antonio, I want to say. I didn't mean to shout out your whole city, but nobody knows where you live, right? Raider Paul. But yeah, shout out to that guy, man. Yeah, Randy
Global.
Wallace. Yeah, he's cool, man. He's a cool dude. One day we definitely got to catch up and have a beer. So, but yeah, man.
Raider Nation since '77.
Raider Nation since '77. Y'all young bucks don't know. Yeah, you definitely right, man. Uh-oh.
And
You
we are not young bucks anymore.
No, we are not. Especially when, man, I'm getting discounts now, man. I finally got an old person's discount for the first time, and I was ecstatic. But most people would have been sick, probably, calling somebody, I was, man, pass it up over here. And where else? Is there a list where I can get these extra benefits for hitting 50? Because I love it. I'll take it every day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Dude, I'll sign up for that. Like, as soon as I can get that senior discount on movies and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Yeah. Hey, Sam, my guy, Sam Tonka, salute Turf Spence. Finally get to talk boxing. My number one sport. Sam, you are about to be glued to the knockout canvas. I don't know if you've seen it yet. I got everything set up. That's what's so frustrating. The knockout canvas is coming. Yeah, the knockout canvas is coming, bro. And trust me, you are going to be ecstatic about that show. It's nothing but boxing. We'll throw a little bit of other combat sports in there just because, right? Just to take care of the community. But, man, it's coming. Yeah, because once I start, man, I don't stop. As y'all can see, I keep it consistent. And that's the only thing that's holding me up, honestly, is I don't want to start something halfway or not stick and be consistent. And if I tried to do that with all of the chaos that I got going on right now, I'm just setting myself up for failure. So, but soon come. Yeah, this boxing thing is real, and y'all gonna get a huge taste of it tonight. Pause. Yes, sir. Let them know, man. Spencer's volume is low.
All right. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, you saw that. Cool.
Yep.
All right, perfect. Because I can turn it up on my side too. I just didn't know if you.
Try and turn it up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can turn it up myself.
There you go. Nope, you're good. You should be good now because I definitely turned it up. I hear it much better.
Awesome.
Yeah, I turned mine down too. Hopefully, man, Turf is working this stuff out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm working this stuff out. I'm really getting a hold of it all. I'm real excited as far as where I'm at with a lot of these things I'm getting done, man. Death Pile Picker in the building. Salute Turf. That free agency period and draft is creeping up on us, man. It is. Man, it's so
free agency's next week.
It is. We can sit and talk this stuff all day.
We're like a month out on the draft now.
Oh,
maybe a little over a month.
Yeah, Spence, you should. Where's Tabitha? You need to come to the draft with me, man. We're all going. The Raider Syndicates. You know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to, those houses that they rent across the street from the stadium? I don't even know. Yeah, I'm trying to do that because if you think about it, just a weekend.
You get the Verbo Packer house?
Yeah. Weekend, we got the Raider Syndicate going. Bro, it could be worth it. You know what I mean? It's a couple $100 for the 2-3 days. I'm telling you, man, you should really think about it. Death Pile Picker said he'll be there. He'll be in the building. That's what's up. The only thing that can throw this.
I would love to go to a draft. Like the draft is looks like a good time. Every time I watch it, it looks like a good time.
I've been fortunate.
That Detroit and Vegas one, the Detroit and Vegas one was great.
Dude, that's what I was gonna say. I've been fortunate to go to 3 of them now. I think 3 of them in a row, and if I can keep it going, I absolutely will. I mean, there's just so much, man. There's so much footage y'all didn't see. Thank God, especially me pouting like a 2-year-old. Y'all, man, when we drafted Brock Bowers, Chris, Leo.
Turf was not happy.
Turf was not happy. Y'all, I'm telling you, man. MC Raider, man. I miss MC Raider. That is my dude. Hey, shout out to MC Raider. Hey, if he's anywhere near you in a comedy show, I promise you, I need to link in with my guy. But yeah, MC Raider's doing this thing, man, and he is an avid Raiders fan. But he's a real legit comedian. It's pretty wild how this turns out for him. But yeah, man. This is your team is playing tonight. That's what we are supposed to be watching right now. I haven't been paying attention. How about you?
I have not been paying attention to the scoreboard, but I'm going to check it right now. They are
We'll be right on the screen, quarter. And there's a reason why we're not checking.
Oh, it's I told you, dude. I was like, by the time we get on, I was like, this game might be uninteresting. 110 to 82.
Shout out to Spence. I agree. Yeah, it's over.
It's like Philly's like Dallas. Done.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. 100% agree.
Dude, last night the Celtics played the Portland Trailblazers without Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, and four of the 5 starters.
Really?
4 of the 5 starters were out. Jeez. We destroyed them.
Yeah.
It was the first time ever that 2 Celtics have scored 40 points in a game.
Jesus.
Ever.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never heard of anybody doing that.
And you know who they were? The 2 Celtics that did it. Take a guess.
I was gonna say it's got to be Brown and.
No, Brown didn't play last night.
He didn't play.
He's out. No Tatum, no Brown, no Porzingis.
Tatum and no Brown.
No Holiday. Drew Holiday didn't play either. Derek White scored 41. Peyton Pritchard scored 43.
I wouldn't even know. Wow. How? Who were they playing?
Portland.
Jesus, the Trailblazers. They always find a way to just be straight dumpster
trash.
Yeah, just bleh. Bleh. Shout out to my man Jeff. New England Raiders boosters in the building, bro. Appreciate you for coming through, man. Hope you enjoy the show as always, man. Oh, yeah, that's my guy.
Love seeing those Shamrocks. Love seeing those Shamrocks.
Yeah, y'all watching it.
Dude, and baseball season's upon us, man. Spring training, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Garrett Crochet threw 3 innings yesterday, 7 strikeouts.
Yeah.
So on.
Yep. Baseball is coming. Hey, Turf is gonna turn a new leaf. I'm gonna dig into baseball. I'm gonna look into it.
You need to, man.
I'm gonna find a way to talk baseball, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to my cousins that are bona fide baseball folks. That's gonna help me with this. It's new.
It's the changes they've made to the game to speed it up have been well received. And I think we talked about this last week. They're working on the automated strike zone right now.
That's what got me. That's what
they're testing it out in preseason. So we'll see how spring training works out with the new automated strike zone, so they can challenge a pitch if they don't like it.
I think that
just by touching their helmet.
Yeah, that is going to change the game. 100% change the game. Salute Eric Reyes, haters, Hunter, Eric Kachin. Hey, again, another one of these guys that can continue to support. Been there from day one for the most part, man. Absolutely appreciate you. Yep, Sam Tonka. He's already getting ready to talk that talk. Turkey and Dana White working together might be what boxing needed. Best fight the best. Man, we getting into Sam, you are going to adore this second half coming up, man. And go ahead. Sam.
Sit back and enjoy, because I am. Turf and Angelo are like 2 of the most knowledgeable boxing guys I know.
Hey, it is going to be an absolute treat. Get everybody, man. Who knows? People might pull. You just have no idea what you're going to find here, man. I we gonna save that, man. We got to get out what we got to get out here, man.
Yeah.
This is a lot of football to talk. We still got to talk about the combine and what happened with the combine, right? I want to hear.
What didn't happen, dude?
Exactly. I'm telling you, bro. It's
Straight gas everywhere.
everywhere.
Everywhere. What do we have? Like a safety running a 4.3?
4.38, something like that.
Jesus.
4.37. Just
That's
something.
like
It's absurd.
Angelo sent me. He's like, this guy looks like a Raider. Humanor.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, he kind of does.
Yes.
I wouldn't be shocked if you guys drafted him. Like,
Yeah.
He's got speed. He looks like he will take your head off.
At this
Ball
point,
hawk.
that you want to talk about being an Al Davis pick, he would be an Al Davis pick,
For
100%.
sure.
So Jeff, only Boston area sports I can get into is the Sox, the Bruins, the Celtics. F the Pats. Sorry, Spence. I get it though.
I gathered that much from your handle, Raider Boosters, but
All right. We're coming back. Dog it. Restream. There we
better?
go. Yep, we're back.
I don't know what happened.
Nah, that was on my
Everything
side.
dropped.
Yeah,
Okay.
it just dropped. Yeah, that was on my side. Why it dropped, I have no idea. Let me make sure we're back rolling now. I think we're back rolling. Let me double
And we don't.
make sure.
And we're not using Rundown's internet service.
No, we are not. We are not. We are not using.
We're both running gigabit lines, so we should be.
Yeah, that was it's probably my and like I say, I was telling you about technology and upgrading the laptop. It could very well be that too for me. Yeah, I can't restart stream.
Yeah.
Hold on. I definitely want to make sure I get this going. Let's see. What is going on here? Off. We got this. You got the chat link?
I do.
Okay, yeah. Make sure you're paying attention. That should still be good. I see Angelo.
Yeah, I see Angelo talking.
Yeah, shout out Angelo. Man, I can't hear. Real close, man. We're not too far away from the whole boxing scene. But yeah, while I try to pull up my other slots over here, talk to me, man. Tell me what was your biggest blowaway outside of the safety from the combine?
The wide receivers, dude. What the speed and at the run of the running backs and the wide receivers was just insane.
Yeah,
there were like what 12 guys that were running like sub 4.4.
just crazy.
It's
Yeah,
nuts.
it was absolutely. I don't know how you.
Some of the corners and the safeties were crazy. It's definitely we had that kid Shamar Stewart got a perfect what was it a player, was it par or something, the athletic score.
I didn't see it.
So when they go through the combine, after they do all the different drills, they score the player. There were two players in this draft that got perfect scores. It was Shamar Stewart, who's like a 300-pound defensive end from Texas A&M, and the safety from Umanor.
Yeah.
Or yeah,
He's
those
going
two
to
got perfect scores.
Yeah, and he is going to be an absolute monster. Absolute monster. Yeah, one of my biggest ones as far as what brought me my attention was the kid Pierce Jr. Even though he's a problem, stats don't lie, right? Yes,
James Pierce Jr.
Jesus, right? I mean, stats don't lie, man.
He's a freak.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, you know what? I don't put any stock in the nonsense that comes. Anything that happens between the Super Bowl and the draft, anything that anybody says negative about a kid, I completely disregard it because it's unless they shot someone. Like, for one, I don't believe it, and for two, it's it's just people like agents and teams like just trying to push draft stock down, right? For whatever reason.
Exactly. Yeah. Bingo. That's how I view it, man. It's really, truly how I view it. So it's tough, man. It's a tough situation for the kid.
Like, yeah. You remember when Warren Sapp came out of was he Florida State or Miami? But he was like he got caught with weed or something, right? And he dropped, I think, like 15 spots in the draft.
Something crazy. It was something crazy, yeah. No, I remember exactly what you're referring to. It wasn't good. No, it wasn't good at all.
And then, yeah, there's been a bunch of stuff like that too. So, bottom line, I just don't put a lot of stock in it.
Yeah, I mean,
right? Like, I'm not gonna let like all this nonsense with Shador and Cam like affect like where I see these guys like. To me, Shador is still the best quarterback in this draft.
Bingo! He's there at 6. We take him. I don't know why would you even. You know what I mean? Like, if he's there at 6, we take him. There's no question.
Dude, I told you in your last show. There's gonna be a lot. A lot of teams are coming for quarterbacks. A lot of teams. Maybe not for Shador, but there's probably I say there's 6 to 7 teams I think that are definitely looking for a starting quarterback right now.
Right.
There's another 4 teams that are looking to get another quarterback to put behind their starter that's probably going to be out of there in a year or two. Right?
I agree.
Like, yes. Detroit's going to draft a quarterback this year. Detroit's going to for sure draft a quarterback.
100%.
Right? They've got I want to say they got the Tennessee kid sitting back there, but Hendon Hooker.
Yes.
But I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be a starter in the league. So I think they're probably going to look to probably move on from him and pick up another kid in this draft.
Right. I mean, it would make sense. It would make sense. I could see it.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: like the quarterback crop is not that deep in this draft, so there could be just those like fringe teams. They might just look at journeyman quarterbacks and
correct.
We'll wait another year because next year's crop of quarterbacks that is going to be game changer.
Fire! That 2025, yeah, that's going to be 26. Yeah, it's the Manning era.
Yeah. Manning will be the first pick of the draft as long as something terrible doesn't happen.
Right. There's absolutely no question, and people will give up everything under the sun for him just for the money. Just for the money.
If he declared this year with only playing like 5 games or whatever he did, like he would have been the first pick of this draft.
Correct. Absolutely correct.
Sorry, Cam.
Yeah. Not even remotely close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a question.
I know Cam thinks he's the next great thing, but
nope. Nope. Not gonna do that one. Yeah, we're not gonna do that one. Yeah,
The
it's go ahead.
so as far as the biggest surprise of the draft, like was the kind of mid performances from the quarterbacks that did show up for the draft. They're throwing like Quinn Ewers, like missing throws, wide open. Like there's no defense. Like you're just throwing to a wide receiver. You've been doing this your whole life.
Right. Right.
It's nuts. How are you missing like a 10-yard out?
Right.
You've been playing football since you were probably 5. You can't hit a 10-yard out when there's nobody else on the field.
Right. Exactly. Nah, I agree.
It was crazy. The kid from Ohio State's Howard. I think I just checked. He's still missing throws right now.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not.
It was just crazy.
Yeah. So I heard.
then-
Yeah. Go ahead.
And then Jackson Dart shows up, and he looks like Jim Kelly. Shredding it.
Jim Kelly, huh? Jesus.
Yeah, there's like there's I guess some guys are just built for the the fake throws.
Right.
I think who was it like a couple of years ago that had a pro day and they
Killed it.
No, yeah, not a ball hit the ground. Or
And then when they got on the squad, it was just
not a
hurt.
ball hit a receiver.
Exactly. It happens so much.
Yeah.
It actually happens way too often. Way too.
That's I think like the biggest thing with the college football and the combine and the draft. Like I feel like people put a lot of weight on the combine,
Yeah.
and I mean, the question should be like, can you play?
Bingo.
Right?
Bingo.
Does your tape show that you can play in the
Yes.
NFL? Like,
Absolutely.
I think I saw an interview with Deion Sanders, and he was talking about Jerry Rice being the most difficult cover he ever had. And he said, everybody said Jerry Rice is slow, 4.6. He's like, I'll tell you right now, he plays 4.4. He may look like he's running 4.6. He plays 4.4. So,
Right.
it's those guys have a different the superstars. They have a different gear.
Right.
Maybe
do.
they don't get up for it in the 40-yard dash. That's not where they need somebody next to them,
Right.
across from them to kind of put them on that.
Yep. No, absolutely, man. And we got Paul Davis out of the building. Hey, Paul, we appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoyed the show, man. He said, "Sat from the U," which is what we knew. Now I'm out. But one of the other things, and I get where he's coming from with this, right now I got to cut out. I'll leave you with this. Nothing against trans people, but create your own league. Peace out. And I'm assuming this is keeping it on the sports perspective. At least that's the narrative I'm taking from this, and that's where I would agree with him. I don't want my daughter, Spence's daughter, anybody's daughter
It's not fair.
competing with my son or somebody else's son that decides to, and I am putting that out there. Y'all know, by no means does Turf ever get political, but hey, Paul put it out there. He's a Raider. You know what I mean? Unless you're just saying something outlandish, even if it was the other way, I'd say, hey, look, I don't agree with Paul, but hey, I have no problem with it. But this one I agree with, man. I mean, tomorrow I will be heading out yet again. Week 14 now, headed back to Minnesota, probably in below degree weather, to see my daughter get it in, man. And it would be a shame to have to. Yeah, you know what I mean? I can't even, and that's the thing. I can't even imagine that. Like,
No.
it would be so wild knowing that I've been doing this my whole life in all sports. Yeah, it's wild.
Where is this coming from, too? Did a trans person try to play women's basketball or something? Like, I've heard this a lot lately.
times. Yeah. It's been coming from all over, so
it shouldn't be a thing, right? Like
it shouldn't be.
let's be honest, a like a guy that's like a sixth man on the men's basketball
Right.
team. If he put a wig on and went out there, and he would destroy them.
It would be game over. Game over. Wouldn't even be a game. It wouldn't even be a game.
It's like 360 dunk through the legs. Like, you need some weird stuff going on. Like,
it wouldn't be good for nobody. Let's just put it that way. That's just what it is. So
at the end of the day, we're talking like pro and college sports are an entertainment product, right? So you want parity in the player pools. You don't want some outliers creeping in there just because they've had gender reassignment surgery. Don't get me wrong. Like trans people are entitled to do what they want to do, live their life.
100%.
I have nothing against that.
100%.
Yeah, they. I mean, if they want to play a sport, play.
Hey, it's like
men's.
Hey, it's like Paul just said, and that's the beauty of it. Create your own league where y'all agree to deal with that. Like, if a woman wants to agree to try to deal with a man in that league, and then that's what you sign up for, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? But that's a league you got to create. And by all means, I mean, hey, the more I'm thinking about it, I see, and this is where you feel like I won't even laugh, feel sick. Like, but if I think about it, it's like this is kind of going to be a league that'll probably make me a lot of money because people are going to watch it. And that's what's wild to me. Like, I don't know. Right? Am I wrong? Like, tell me. I
don't know.
We're getting into this, this space. Yeah, we're going into a space where I'm waiting until my 13-year-old gets old enough and y'all don't get to chastise him for Turf's feelings, for Turf's thoughts. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy, bro. It's a crazy world we live in today.
And to be clear, you don't see women that are becoming men running to play men's sports
at all. It's just that it doesn't happen. Yeah. It doesn't happen. You won't even hear about it.
Yep. So
it's only the other way around. That's pretty ironic. It's pretty ironic. You will never hear about the other way around. Because it won't be a thing. It won't be a thing. It just takes one match, one game, one meet, one show, one whatever it is. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I mean we're getting like the world is going to be a very different place in 20, 30 years. Like, I can't even imagine. We'll probably be able to pick like attributes like
exactly
to be tall, short, eye color.
Right, you're gonna have to give up a little bit here because you get something there. No, you're right. They already do it. They already do eye color, all that. That's already a deal right now. That's already a deal right now. Thank you, Eric Raiders haters, honey.
Bringing it back.
Yes, he's putting us back on track. See, that's why I love my people, man. I'm telling you, I love my people. Does anyone else think that Pete Carroll is going to be able to get the best out of Cameron Richardson because of his size? Raider Nation for life. That's a great question. I think the answer is absolutely because, for one, the least of Pete Carroll's worries about this kid is the attitude or the lack of knowing that. The confidence is not there. See, Pete, this is where I think Pete thrives. Pete will give you that confidence. You see how Pete wake up in the morning? You see how Pete has been this way since Pete was probably in his 20s. The reason I can say that, Noah, is because you're going to see me be this way. It's just what it is. It's who I am. It's what I've always been. And I get it. I dig it. I understand it. I know that's Pete's superpower. If for people that don't comprehend, Pete Carroll's superpower is he can relate to anybody from any era, from any rock under you crawl from, whatever the case may be. So yes, to to make that long answer short, absolutely yes. I think he will not only get the best out of him, he might be the perfect head coach for it. That's my 2 cents. What do you think, Spence? I know you get a lot of Raiders talk, man, and some of these guys you
Yeah,
may not even care to know about or don't even know about. But I think he was third round, so and he came.
I'm
Yeah.
a student of the game. I try to know everything.
Bingo!
So
I know that. I just want to make sure the people hear it. The people hear it.
the Pete Carroll, like I can tell you firsthand because Pete Carroll was coach of the Patriots
That's right.
back in the day.
That's right.
He was Bill
Right.
Belichick's predecessor.
That is right.
Um, so I can tell you firsthand, Pete, you're gonna love Pete Carroll. He's a super positive guy, very very positive. Everything is there are no cloudy days for Pete Carroll. He's a player's coach, right? And as long as they're winning, everything's
100%.
gonna be good.
Yep.
So I think as he's gotten older, he has gotten more involved in picking the players. Like maybe not executing the draft picks, but
Right.
right, being able to provide more input. I know that was like that was a complaint of his when he was with the Patriots, was that he was kind
Wouldn't
of
get.
locked out of that. He
Yeah,
got locked out of that
it was the
process.
GM, right? Do you recall who the GM was for you guys when he was there?
He's terrible. He was terrible. I think he works in in the Texans organization. I can't remember his name anymore, but
Mm,
he's not anywhere near the draft. He's like a scout, like a lead scout or head of scouts or something in the background,
right.
which is exactly where he belongs. He should never have been picking people. His drafts while Pete Carroll was there were horrendous, horrendous. He single handedly like bled the talent dry on that team. 3 year span, and then it took Belichick. Like Belichick had to get lucky with Brady,
Right.
right? And he
Absolutely.
brought
Super
like
lucky. Super
his
lucky.
first year, like his first year, he went and got a whole bunch of like his guys, right? Like that were with him, like with the Giants or the Browns,
Right.
and he brought all those guys in to kind of like fill out the team. Same thing with Parcells. He did the same thing when he took over, but like it's Pete's a defensive coach, so you're gonna really enjoy that. Like your defense is gonna look hopefully healthy
Yes.
first and foremost.
Dude. Ugh.
Like that was a tough break last year. You guys, everybody was real excited about Wilkins, and then he gets injured like pretty much
That
right out the
hurt.
gate.
That hurt real bad.
Yeah, so
That Wilkins deal really hurt.
and it's almost gonna be like you got him this year because you didn't see him at all
Correct.
last year.
Correct.
Um, so that should actually look really nice for you guys because he's a really good player.
I agree.
And you didn't even get to see any of it last year. So I think that
Drop.
you get that front looking better. It's going to make everything behind it look better, right? I think you have talent back there. I just don't think they could work last year because they didn't have any time.
Right.
They
Exactly.
they were the quarterbacks were able to hold the ball forever, and they're just the quarterback, a safety. What do they got, like 5 seconds in them, and then it's scramble mode.
Yeah, and well, it's impossible to cover. It's the hardest position in football. I even over the quarterback, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Cornerback, and then put yourself in slot. In football. Yeah. Yep. Right. Well, I can tell you for a fact, for sure, who people are ready to let go for the most part is Diablo. Linebacker. It won't happen, but Andre James, right? Gone. A lot of people don't like Parham either, man. A lot of people do not like Parham, the guard. Gone. Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane. It's insane. It's an absolute nightmare. Brent Beers in the building. My man California got a 1 a.m. drive, man. That's what that is. That man works at 1 a.m. Got to go to sleep. Got to get those hours in so you drive safely, man. Hey, drive safe. Have a good time at the office, if you will. Stream the second half of this. Trust me. Brent, I don't know if you even are a combat sports fan. I'm just telling you right now. If you are, knowing freaking Angelo, when you wake up, we'll still be on. Yeah, it'll be pretty wild. Hey, what happened? You're not around, Spence. Where'd you go? I know. Yeah, I'm talking about on my. Yeah, yeah. I can hear you totally fine. I think everybody can probably hear probably fine, but I don't know if everybody can see you because I can't see you, which is wild. This was supposed to be a no technology issue tonight ever, and yeah, it just went straight tech. I don't know what happened. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, why'd you go away? Smith said, I don't know. I don't think it's you. Right, but how about on Instagram or YouTube? When I click on live, it's just me. It's just me. T. Earth in the building. I almost said Terrence. By now, everybody should know my real name is Terrence. It's not Turf. My mother didn't name me Turf. If my mother named me Turf, that would be wild. Hold on. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, we'll get Spence back up here ASAP. ASAP. Back in the building.
Is that better?
Told you. Yeah, you're right back in. Tell the man the balance come back, man. He's right back in the building.
I meant to ask you, what do you think about Alex Kappa?
Man, yeah, from the Bengals. We don't understand it.
I saw his
We don't
positional
understand
grades last year, and he's like,
damn it, he dropped.
rated the worst.
It's graded the worst.
Did I drop again?
Damn, why is yeah, you did. I don't know what's happening, but I'm pretty positive it's not my side. You got a gig too, though, so I don't have anything else connected though.
I don't believe.
Yeah, it's definitely not me. I see it's already blazing.
All right, is that better?
It could be just the internet too, man. It could be the internet. Yeah, but it's definitely blazing over here. It's hitting all of what's necessary. You don't even need like 100 megs, but
No, I'm good over here.
yeah.
That's
Hi, Brent said I'll turn on the TV. So that means yeah, he'll listen, but he's definitely not texting in. Yeah, everything is good on this side. I know the tuning out, that was definitely on my side, but I don't know about what happened. No worries though, man. We good. This is gonna be a long show anyways. Don't worry about it.
Am I back on now?
Yeah, you're perfect.
All right, good.
Yeah, you're perfect. No, you're perfect. It's showing. That's the beautiful
Okay.
thing. I can at least see it. And that's how I know to pay attention.
So you got as far as your free agents go,
Yes.
your top ones for previous value, annual value: Marcus Epps, Robert Spillane.
I don't want to explain. We gotta resign. We gotta resign. Keep going.
Uh, Caleb Von Chasen,
Yeah, we gotta resign. Gotta resign. Keep going.
Harrison Bryant. I think he's gone.
We got gone. No, he's a Mackey Award winner. That's our only other tight end, and we're gonna trade Mayer. We gotta keep him. You gotta keep.
You haven't traded Mary yet.
Well,
And I know you're talking about doing it, but
look, yeah, because we're talking about doing it with you guys. You didn't think I was going to ask you about that? You know I was going to ask you about that.
I don't. I mean, nobody knows what the Wolfman's gonna do.
Right.
Nobody knows.
Right.
He's a mystery.
It's a great question, though. It's a great question, though, right?
Yeah, we apparently had an opportunity to acquire Joe Tooney again, bring him back to New England, and all it would have cost us was like a fourth or fifth or something, and we said no, too expensive.
Kraft, man, you got to blame Kraft at this point.
No, I blame Wolf because he's the GM.
I know,
I blame Kraft as an extension because Wolf is a little lapdog, but
yeah.
Wolf is the man sitting in the chair right now, and he's more than happy to remind people that he's got final say on everything. So,
right,
you want that fire, you got it.
Dang,
you got it.
That's
so
wild.
Don't mess up because I'll be happy to see you get fired with prejudice.
Right,
like you've done nothing, absolutely nothing. And if your draft picks don't show any sign of improvement this year with this coaching staff, I would fire you before the season end.
It's game over. Yeah. No, absolutely.
So, anyway, the Harrison Bryant thing, I think Mayer would look nice in New England, but I don't think it's necessary. Because we drafted a tight end last year. What are we going to do? Just never let the kid play? We drafted the kid out of Florida State last year.
Right.
And he was a baller.
Like,
he was legit. They did nothing to develop the tight ends and the wide receivers last year.
Not even a little bit.
So if you trade for Mayer, you still got Hunter Henry under contract. You still got that kid. I don't even remember his name, but then you're gonna get Mayer in there. So I guess that means you're not bringing back Hooper. I'd rather just re-sign Hooper if that's what it really is. Hooper had nice chemistry with May.
Bingo. I agree.
And I'd much rather let you guys keep Mayer and we'll just go sign Harrison Bryant if you want to go get somebody that can block too.
I don't want to get rid of Harrison Bryant. I thought we had the strongest tight end room in the world, maybe ever.
I'll tell you what, when Harrison Bryant got drafted by the Browns, I thought he was gonna be legit.
Right.
But I mean,
they didn't know how to use
him. Cleveland is where talent goes to die.
Right. They didn't know how to use him.
Yeah, they still don't.
He said they still don't.
They should take that franchise away from Cleveland because they're just incapable of doing anything.
Yeah, that is crazy. I agree. I mean,
I'm so tired of seeing the Browns
Protect the Shield podcast in the building. Turf Spence. What's up, fellas? My main man coming
What's going
through.
On?
Best tight ends room.
Oh wow!
Mayer is young.
He's getting into your feelings.
Yeah, he does not like Mayer. He does not like Mayer at all. Yeah,
those Notre Dame tight ends, they can go either way. Some of them pan out, some don't.
Yeah, That's
More
man,
dope.
Chris. This is the first time he's talked about like that, though. Dang, that's harsh, bro. That's harsh, man. That is harsh. I mean, I won't lie. I was a fan. Like, I'm not going to say I thought he was anything close to a Bowers. But I thought he was very respectable, especially as a rookie, dealing with what he had to deal with. Our ends, let alone the AFC West. And it's man, I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. I mean, he runs funny, so I get it. I can see. I know
he runs funny.
He does. He just runs funny. I don't know any other way to explain that to people. He does. He runs funny. I get it. I get Chris. I get you, bro. That's all I can say. I don't want to stick the guy out. He's trying to fight for a spot somewhere. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't hate him. So
no, I don't hate it. I don't hate him either. He's not going to be an All-Pro or anything like that. That's my primary thing. Like,
not even a little.
I don't want to. We're so bad right now. We can't afford to be trading draft picks to acquire guys that aren't going to be Pro Bowlers.
Right. Bingo.
I mean, we're in the Raiders and the Patriots. They're in the same boat, right? Your needs outweigh your fantasies.
Yep.
You know, you can fantasize about having DK Metcalf and let's be honest. You're not trading for DK Metcalf. It's not.
No.
The Patriots aren't doing it. The Raiders aren't doing it.
Nope.
We don't have the luxury of doing that.
Mm-mm.
Right?
Nobody's doing it.
We're gonna sign like Chris Godwin or something, right? Like that's our speed. Like, you know. And I heard, I saw somebody saying that they wanted to sign the other wide receiver from Seattle, the one that got cut.
Lockett.
Like, yeah,
Lockett.
He's older than dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's had like over 700 yards receiving like in the last 4 years or something.
Right.
Like, he's done.
Jesus.
He's done. Like, this ain't the kid that played in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like, get over it. Like, Lockett is not a player anymore. Right? I don't have any interest in Steph Diggs.
Right.
Like,
no, nobody does.
Bye.
At this point.
Right? The Bills moved on from you because they knew you were done.
Right. 100%. Jesus.
Truth hurts.
Yeah. It does. It definitely does.
I did like the move that the Texans, speaking of them, pulled off today, acquiring Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk.
Yeah, from Jacksonville.
Ooh, that's slick.
I think he's Jacksonville. Carolina. I get those two confused.
Yeah. No, that's
two trash teams. They just remind me of each other so much. But yeah, Kirk is good. Like,
yeah,
he was injured last year, but he's a good player. So he's not. He's like 29, something like that.
Yeah,
so
he's of age.
He's in it right now, so he should be able to help.
100%.
You know, like with the injuries that the Texans had to deal with last year, like they just need some bodies in the room that can produce.
Right. I agree.
We all do, right? I'm honestly like if I'm looking at this group of like old wide receivers, like like we got Devontae Adams, Steph Diggs, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Brandon Cooks, Tyler Lockett, DeAndre Hopkins. Right? If I'm looking at this group of old men in NFL terms, the only one honestly that I think can still produce at a high level is Devontae Adams.
Yeah. I wouldn't even. Yeah.
And I'm not paying him $28 million. Like,
are you kidding me? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It is going to cost you over 20. It might cost you 25, 22 to sign him.
Not
So you got to be comfortable with that. Like I mean, the Patriots wide receiver room is so terrible. I think if he was willing to come to New England, I would swallow hard and do it.
Pause.
Godwin's 29. If he wants to come to New England,
Right.
I would give him like 20 million, whatever.
But yeah,
whatever
you gotta give him what the market is.
Yeah, or probably for New England, probably a little more than the market.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to outspend people.
Yeah, because you guys got problems now. Now you're in a whole new world now. There's no more the luxury of hey.
Tom Brady's gone. He's not coming through that door.
There's no more. Yeah, you got a chance to fight every year. It's just not there.
Well, I mean, it could, if we get our stuff together this year and we have a good free agency, we have a good draft.
You got Vrabel.
We got Vrabel. We got a good coaching staff. Like, we can make some noise, I think. We're not going to be, like, contending for a Super Bowl, but we could be on the outs. I looked at our schedule, like, if Vrabel does what I think he's going to do, I think we could be one of those teams that turns into, like, a 8-9 win team. Right? Maybe, like, we're not, like, in the playoffs, but we're battling for that wild card spot. And maybe we get it, maybe we don't. I don't know how like teams are going to shake out next year, but I think we're going to be much more competitive next year. Like, we got a real coach, we got a real coaching staff, we got real coordinators. We just got real all over the board. Like, we had nobody last year. Everybody was a first timer at everything. Like from coordinator all the way down to position coaches. Those guys had never done it before at any level, which was insane to think of putting that in a pro team. But we tried it.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
At all. Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
Raider Ben in the building. Man, I haven't seen my guy Raider Ben in the grip. What's going on, my guy? Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoyed the show, man. It's been what? It's been several months since the last time. I done your show one time, I believe. So, yeah. Good to see you, man. Hope everything is well, bro. Hope everything is well.
All the Raider fans, welcome.
Yes, exactly.
Turf brings the Raider fans.
I definitely bring the Raiders fans. But hey, as you know, y'all got 10 minutes left. We got 10 minutes, 11 minutes left until this flips, until it flips the script. And as you can see, I even came prepared because I miss my family, man. Shout out to Team Rivalry, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai. I will be back, family. I know y'all been hearing this for a minute.
I didn't know they did Muay Thai too.
Oh, man. Are you kidding me? I'm 7 years in on that. Deadly.
Are you really?
Yes.
Don't mess with Turf.
Bingo. Yeah, nah.
Just leave him alone. If you want to talk trash to him in the bar, just leave him alone.
I'm running too, so all I'm saying is if you do force me to fight, that ain't on me. I'm running out the building, and I don't have no hamstrings no more. I'm running 5'9". I'm not running no 4.
5'9".
Yeah, I'm running 5'9" this day and age. The legs don't work no more. So
we just call that running now.
Just run. Just getting out the way.
Just running.
Just getting out the way.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, man, this next is gonna be a treat for me because I haven't been able to talk boxing online myself for a while.
So what are we gonna wrap with?
Yeah, you tell me, man. What is we got, man? We got shows to do. We got a lot to catch up on because I think we should segment out this.
We haven't even scratched the surface. Like we haven't gone through. We haven't talked about positional from the perspective for the combine. We haven't talked about free agents.
No, nothing.
Right, and that's just NFL. NBA still is going on now.
It's cooking.
Now we got the Dallas is done. Luka trade looks even worse now than a month ago.
I knew Spence was supposed.
Damn,
Nico, we hurt Nico. They're killing me, Nico.
told you, Nico. I told you.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, there's no way you could
You,
prepare for this.
you're gonna trade a future Hall of Famer. You better get a king's ransom in return.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Not.
It did not happen. Did not happen. Hey, I'm trying to think, man. In terms of, I mean, hockey is heating up too. I mean, they got playoffs coming soon. I think,
We got a trade deadline in the hockey.
That's what I was
coming.
just gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that Lakers New York game started, and it's not looking good for the Knicks. But I mean, it's been that way for decades. The Knicks. Yeah.
Hey, the Knicks have actually played. I think they're like the 3 or 4 seed in the East.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Shout out to the Knicks. Yeah.
I told you early on that first game the Celtics played the Knicks and we waxed them bad.
Right.
But Cat settled in and he looks much more comfortable now. So they've been playing well. But that's the problem, dude.
Yeah.
Like you told me when that trade happened, like they're gonna have no defense in LA. Do you know that LA's defense is top 5 since that Luka trade?
Jeez.
Top 5.
Dropping bombs. Top 5, huh? Well, I mean, you gotta know though. Come on, man. Let's be honest. You can't. Judging this period is like judging the honeymoon, right? Let's be honest. Everything's good.
He's not a good on-ball defender. We
at all, but he's doing better than he normally.
Yeah, because he's motivated.
Thank you, Nico. That's all I'm trying to say. This is going to subside too, meaning that we're just going to see if it's going to work out, right? I mean, is LeBron
he's a Laker? It's going to work out.
Well,
it's going to work out. That's what the Lakers do. They heist everybody else, and then they make themselves great.
They've been doing this for centuries. Not centuries.
I think. Yeah, I want to say like three of the 5 most one-sided trades that have ever happened in the NBA all involve the Lakers.
America's team.
Right?
I mean, it's America's team. You have to look at it that way. At least that's how I look at it. It's America's team.
I look at it like Boston is America's team.
See, so you think they're closer to the Cowboys in football than
they are the Cowboys of basketball. They've got the most banners.
No, I agree. You know what? I gotta give you. I don't know why I'm even here. I can't even fight that. You can't even fight that argument, ladies and gentlemen. There's no fighting that. When you say 11, it's over. It's over. it's over. What are you gonna argue? It's over.
Yeah. And LA's last title was a joke. The bubble one doesn't count. Can't give people 4 months off.
I agree.
It's a joke.
Dang, I forgot. See, this is why I love basketball.
And LeBron was like injured when that season ended too.
Right.
And then he comes back. He has 4 months to heal up and get his body right.
Yeah.
And then they ask him to do like a 6-week sprint in front of nobody.
Right. It's not gonna happen. Yeah, that's wild.
It's in the books. He got it. It's like LA's got another banner, but I mean, like that should be a different color.
That's why I gave up. That's why I just saw the writing on the wall. There's just no. How do you come back from 3-peats twice from the best player that still we've ever seen, and now I'm supposed to expect something better than that from my team? Like it's just not gonna happen. It kind of ruined my future of basketball. Yeah, right? You know what I mean? I know you. It's no different for you. Like you're never. Times. Nobody's. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nobody's ever getting nobody's catching you in chips as far as basketball. So.
I mean, the Lakers and the Celtics have been going back and forth like the last few
years. The Lakers. How many do the Lakers have? 7.
The Lakers. No, the Lakers have like what 20 something. Let me look at this.
20 something. I'm talking championships. I'm talking what matters. Yeah. They don't have no 20 championships. Y'all got the most with 11.
They have. All right.
It's old
So
school
they've got.
pre NBA. It's gotta be. It's gotta be old school pre NBA.
Let's see here. Let's do
Old
the
school
championship.
pre NBA.
Yeah. So they are NBA champion. All right.
Grabbing me a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So the Lakers have 17, and the Celtics have 18. So the Celtics championship count right now.
What's up?
Celtics championship count is at 18 now with that win last year. And the Lakers are at 17. They were tied.
17?
Yeah, they were tied. It's the Lakers and the
It's
Celtics,
always
right?
been the Lakers and the Celtics. Always.
It's like the Dodgers and the
Shout
Yankees.
out to the Lakers and the Celtics. The Dodgers and Yankees, you said?
Yeah, in MLB.
Yeah. See, and those are the two sports that, well, baseball, I definitely.
It's a little more, balanced out in the NFL, right? It's the Patriots, the Steelers, the Cowboys, Green Bay.
Yep. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time.
Angelo ready to come on?
Yeah, there's no reason to wait. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
There's no reason to wait.
No, what do we... Let's see here.
Here we go. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, let me see if I can switch this up and try to do this in real true production fashion. It's probably not going to be all slick like I want it to. But, hey, we are introducing my guy, Angelo, to the building.
Hey, Turf, am I on?
Yes, you are on, sir.
I can't see
You are in the
Spence.
building, sir.
You can't see me?
Yeah, I can't see Spence at all. I'm trying to check it out on YouTube. Okay. So now, hey, Turf,
Yeah.
is this setting for your YouTube doesn't allow us to have our own background? Like we have to have our own studio like
you should. I gave it. No. Oh, now. Yeah. You should be able to now. You should be able to do settings.
Let me try, guys.
I promise you.
But if it can't, I'm sorry about the background. It's my hats and medication. But I thought I was going to be able to actually have a background for you guys.
Yeah.
But it's not giving it to me, Turf. Yeah,
I can't do background either.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good, guys. So
what does it tell you?
Don't mind me.
It doesn't give
don't
you the
mind
option
me in
for
the
it.
background.
Wait. Hold on. Virtual background. Yeah, it's actually enabled. It's enabled.
When I go onto my settings, Turf,
Right, it's not there.
it's not allowing it. It's probably enabled for you, but not for me.
No. I don't use virtual background.
I don't have the option.
Yeah, see?
It might be due to the fact of when I sent it to you. Give me
Oh,
one.
you know what? Digital video effects. You can select effect. You can do virtual background.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm pretty positive you can do it.
What is
There's
it?
no
Digital video effects. I don't. So what? I'll tell you right now what shows on mine, Spence. It just says video source, audio source, audio output destination, and closed settings, and then that's it. There's nothing.
I see digital video effects under mine for mine.
I just sent you another link, but Spence, that would be where you can. It definitely should work.
Oh,
Let me
Did
see
you
if I
send
can
me
do this.
another link?
There it is. Bingo. See? It worked.
Turf, did you send me another link?
Talking about, yeah, I did.
Okay, let me check it out. All right, let me try that out.
Yeah.
All right, give me a second, guys. I'm gonna try the new link.
All Gucci. All Gucci. All right, we got MI0903. I don't know what that is. How to raise a basketball like this, Kobe. Welcome, man. Hope you enjoy the show. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like button, man. Appreciate
I'm
you.
gonna grab my power pack. I'll be
Yeah,
right
yeah,
back.
go ahead. We'll get anything back in here. Yeah, I sent him the link, so he should be able to get right back in, no problem, and use his background. Yep. Let me see. I will. I will make it nice and pretty for y'all. Yeah, you'll have to see me cut up, but they'll be back. Yeah, this is interesting as far as this Laker game. I don't think it's gonna be much of a game. That's honestly my opinion. I think it'll be over sooner than later. Too much power. Yeah, way too much power. Oh yeah, he must have kicked it back, or maybe I don't know what happened. Oh, maybe it goes off when I put him on. All right, let's see. We'll have to see what he's got going on back there. Yeah. Yeah, they in LA too, so I wonder how many games they play. There you go. See?
go.
Bingo.
Guys,
Thought it was me. I told you it wasn't me, man.
all right. So, Turf, man. I was just on the Captain Jack show talking all the Raider stuff, and I had to get all my Raider stuff out. I told everybody that was watching that show that you and I are, if any of them, like Sacktown Mike, I want to shout out all of our. There's been a bunch of Raider Nation people who are starting to understand, Turf.
Right.
If you want current events for boxing, just follow me on Instagram. They're all starting to get it now, Turf. Like all the ones who actually love the sport and understand it, they're like, oh, I could just follow Angelo at ReyesBoxing.com,
Oh, 100%.
and he's gonna be sending me all this shit anyways, right?
Yes.
Which is what I do, right?
Correct.
So Sacktown Mike's been getting it.
Yep.
Jesse Salcido, he's a big Virgil Ortiz guy. He gets a bunch of stuff from me. Even Spence, man, I'm trying to turn Spence into understanding it. I want Spence to know what we are seeing, Turf. What we are seeing. So first of all, Turf, shout out to you. I know that you're super busy with your champion daughter doing all the gymnastics, and I think your son's season's over now, right? Is he done?
Are you kidding me, bro? You're in Texas, man. AAU track season just started.
Okay.
I'll be all over all of Texas. Thank God I don't have to fly anywhere, but I'll be over Texas. It'll be a different schedule. It'll be different. I should be way better than what I am today, right?
Okay.
I'm on the flight tomorrow, right? I got like 4 more weeks, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Hey, can I ask? I know you can hear me perfect, but I got some people on the YouTube saying my volume is low. Is it low, guys? If you guys are on the chat right now, can you tell me if my volume is low? Because I'll try to fix it on my mic if it is.
It sounds good to me.
Yeah,
But
Turf can hear me perfect.
I can turn it up.
Yeah, maybe that'll help.
I've turned it up. So.
Spence, are you in the building? Because Spence looks frozen.
He does.
Spence is frozen.
Yeah.
So no, Turf. As you know, it was last year we were talking about the knockout canvas, right? And then you started that YouTube already, and I'm like, all right, bro. And let me just say this too, Turf. am I not the guy in 2024 of January on record? I told you and everyone else, especially all you other people who are hating on boxing, I told you all that boxing will become a top 5 sport in the United States again. It'll take about 4 years. It'll take 4 years.
That's a bold one.
All right. Now, Turf.
Bold one.
Year one of the project was 2024.
Right.
Was 2024 not one of the greatest boxing years we've seen in like a long time? Like, I mean, I might argue that it might have been one of the greatest boxing years ever.
Easy.
Okay?
Easy.
All right.
Absolutely.
Now, that first project, Turf, was to get everyone globally connected so that all the best fights could be made between all the best fighters globally. That's what was 2024 was about, the global project.
Right.
And if you actually pay attention to boxing the way we pay attention to NFL and the combine and everything else, then you would know that, number one, you have to have a DAZN subscription to even know what you're talking about. And again, Turf, you know who I'm talking about in the Raider Nation group who don't know shit about boxing, and all they ever do is complain, right? But they're not even subscribed to anything, so I don't want to hear it. Like, if you're, it's like me trying to talk to someone about NFL when you don't even have the NFL Network. Like, I don't want to talk to you.
Right. No, yeah.
All right. Now, secondly, I realized, Turf, and this is why you and I, when we were talking about the knockout canvas, I was saying this will be a good program for the average person to actually understand that boxing is worth your time, especially if you're just waiting for what's going to happen to the Raiders next. Right. Now, unless you're like Spence, who's crazy with Major League Baseball, and he's watching like all these other sports, if all you care about is the Raiders and you're looking for something else to fill your time, boxing is the place you go to, because boxing is weekly. It is weekly. It is every week. There is no season. There's no boxing season.
I agree.
It is weekly. There is always a big event happening on the global sports network called DAZN. DAZN. It's $14 a month. Go get it. It's cheaper than Amazon. All right?
No, I agree. I totally agree. So unless you're Turf, where you're so busy with all of your kids' projects and doing all these other things, traveling, doing stuff, right? If you really actually support and love boxing, then don't talk shit about it, unless you know your stuff. Because I was on a boxing show yesterday. Shout out to BFTV. He gets like 500 views every time he does a live. Right.
And all he does is talk boxing. But he hates it when people jump on and don't know their info. So what ends up happening, Turf, is it's not a PG program. There's a lot of cussing that happens.
Of course, it's boxing.
Right? But basically, he ends up telling you, if you come into his show and you're like, well, Tank really won that fight, you better have facts. And if you don't have facts, you basically get called, and I'm sorry to the listeners, but you get called a meat eater, essentially. You get called a pause. You get called a Tank meat eater if you are it's okay to rep your fighters, man. It's okay to rep your fighters, but just come with facts. If you don't come with facts, then you don't get to talk. So those are for the like heavy boxing people, like the people who actually know. That's a whole community. If you're a casual, you don't want to go to that show yet.
No.
What you want to do is you want to come to me and Turf show, the Knockout Canvas, where we're going to be much friendlier. We're going to educate you on what's going on.
Bingo.
And we won't necessarily get mad at you unless you come at us with some really stupid stuff like boxing is dead or boxing is corrupt, or look, man, Turf, I'm going to do an NFL analogy. Were we not complaining about how the Kansas City Chiefs were getting a lot of ref calls? Right?
Everybody, yeah.
Okay. So does that make the NFL corrupt?
No.
You know what I'm saying? So Tank Davis, did he get a favorable call on Saturday night? And we're going to talk about that one first, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus, yes.
Everyone and their moms who watched Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach for the WBA 135-pound title on Saturday night at the Barclays Center, which, by the way, was packed. I got to give that. The Papa Rundown in me.
Fire show.
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, if you're on the group of, well, boxing, it's not really alive. If it wasn't alive, then why were there 18,000 people in a sold-out Barclays Center crowd? I mean, they sold more tickets than the fucking the Barclay team for the NBA, the Nets, right? So I'm just saying, and that wasn't even a great card. Just so that everybody knows, that's not what an amazing card looks like.
No.
That's the problem, by the way, with why boxing is in America the way it's been put together. Because on ESN, and I actually, Turf, you know me, man. I will speak the truth to someone if they're trying to say something. But yesterday in the morning, I heard Stephen A. Smith and Molly on First Take. So if they ever listen to the show, they'll know I'm calling them out. They were saying how they always talk about boxing.
Right.
In their show, they always talk about boxing. Turf, the greatest boxing card that happened ever in the history of boxing was on February 22nd.
Right.
Even Spence bought the pay-per-view. And that was $25. $25. Okay?
Yeah.
$25 for 7 world title fights.
Right.
So if you're listening to our show right now and you didn't even know about that card, you're either uneducated about boxing, which is fine. Me and Turf are going to fix that. Or, you're a hater. And if you're a hater, then don't talk to us. Like, if you don't like boxing, then don't talk to us. This show won't be for you. But Turf, even you got to catch up on that February 22nd card.
I did.
7 world title fights, Turf. And we can argue that the first one might have been the fight of the night. Might have been the very first one, right?
It was great.
Okay. So other than the fact that it started at 9 a.m. and ended at 4, which is like a Super Bowl day, which by the way, Rundown, me and your dad were together talking the whole time. Like we were watching it live together and we were like going back and forth the whole time, right? For that to be $25, Turf.
Yeah.
Do you remember a time? Do you remember a time ever?
No.
Other than the exception is in the 80s when it was free on ABC.
Right.
Right, Turf? Because it stopped being free around like the 90s, like the early 90s. But it was still free. Like people forget this, that in 1980, I want to say it was 1989, Holyfield was fighting for the Cruiserweight Undisputed, and that was free on ABC. Okay, I was still in school. Like, I remember, like, it was still free. So the complaint, and I understand from someone like Spence, who has not paid attention to it until I started just shoving it in his Instagram, right? Okay? But I understand from someone like Spence telling me, well, I don't understand. Because no one in the regular American media is telling you about it. And I'm calling you out, Stephen A. Smith, because you talk a lot of shit, but you don't really know your boxing, man. Like, we need Max Kellerman back to talk about it or something.
Yeah, Max. Yeah, see, no matter how you felt about Max knew boxing. And that's something that I was always uneasy about. I know his brother ended up getting, I want to say, off by an ex-boxer, like something wild. And, he always caught flack because he clearly never boxed, probably never even sparred or anything along those lines. But it's irrelevant, especially if you love the fight game like that, because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That's where Turf came from. Turf didn't pick up boxing gloves until I got to college. And I'll never forget it. I was just dumb enough to get in the ring because I had this one guy named John Scully, that I grew up with, and we all knew how to fight somewhat. You know what I mean? We knew how to fight from that respect. So I always leaned on that. And yeah, I fought in a smoker. I got receipts. It was a college smoker for a fundraiser, whatever it was. I walked out like Mike Tyson, just like anybody else would, coming from our era with the right cutout towel over and the black shorts. And I thought I was going to die after the first fight. I was supposed to have a second fight, and I told those people to leave me alone. I'll never forget it. I didn't train a day. I just went out and fought in the smoker. I swear to God on my life, guys. I didn't train. I just went out and fought based on straight up Windsor, Connecticut street knowledge fighting.
Right.
It's different when you put those boxing gloves on.
It's way different.
But,
way different.
But you know what, Spence? Let me ask you a question, Spence. When you were growing up, right? When you were growing up at any given point in your life, 5th grade, 4th grade, 7th, did you ever get into any type of fights? You know, like even a pushing, shoving, through a punch, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's why for anybody who always says the dumb sentence of boxing is dying, here's the reason why boxing will never die. Right. It's because it's the most relatable sport to everyone.
Everybody.
Every single person understands what it's like to be me against someone else, and then they're trying to either slap me or punch me, right? And it's been around forever. So like I said, you come to Me and Turf show if you want to be educated about it. You don't come to our show if you hate boxing. You just don't. Just don't. It's like coming to our Raiders show and you're a Chiefs fan. Like, don't come to the show. Don't come to the show. All right?
Oh, they still come, though.
They'll still come.
Because they're football fans. That's the difference.
Now, I'm going to use Spence as the example
I think
for
they're
this.
just trolls.
Okay, I'm going to use Spence as... Yes, that's true. That's true.
That too.
So I'm going to use Spence as the example for this. The reason why poor Spence has not been involved in understanding how cool boxing is because they keep feeding him bull crap like the one we saw on Saturday for $80. And Spence,
that was crazy.
Spence works hard for his money. He should not have to pay $80 for a pay-per-view.
That was crazy.
Okay? That's number one.
Crazy.
Okay? Now, here's the thing. Spence knows for a fact that if you're as old as me and Turf, there was a time when it was just free, dude. Friday night fights were free on ESPN. Yep. There was boxing after dark on Tuesday nights. Like, it was just free, man. It was just free. Like, you just watch it for free. Yeah. Now,
it was on
remember
HBO.
what?
Yeah, all of it. It was
all of them. All of them were free.
CBS, all of it. Yeah.
Dude, I remember Pacquiao didn't even fight in a pay-per-view card. He was on a free, if you subscribe to HBO, which at the time everybody had HBO back then the same way everybody has Amazon Prime now. Correct. Right? Like, it was just a channel everybody had. And you saw some of the best Mayweather fights there. You saw some of the best I'll pull out names on the show. And again, I'll save it for the knockout canvas when Turf finally gets off his ass and gets it going.
We gonna get there.
Okay, but Spence, was last Saturday night's fights good? Yes. Should it have been shown on free TV? 100%. Because what you saw last Saturday night was 4 world title fights. 4 world title fights on Saturday night, okay? The problem is, for $80, you were not going to be one of the 250,000 people that paid for it. That's the problem. When back in the old days, Spence, like, it was 7 million in viewership because it was just free.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So because you don't know who those champions are, you, sir, are not invested. You could care less because you have no idea. And let me say this, Spence. You love baseball? When I was growing up as a kid, I used to love baseball, man. I went to all the A's games. I went to all the Giants games. I went to I loved it. I had baseball cards. I studied it all the time. I used to play this video game in Nintendo called All-Star Baseball, age, right? When I started not liking it anymore, Spence, was when, like in the later years, it felt like it was rigged because of there's no salary cap, and all the teams that had the most money seemed to be the ones that would always win. So then I was like, this is bullshit, man. Like, this isn't even competitive anymore. Like, I can't put my time into this. Right now, I'll be honest. What's kind of swinging me back to getting interested is I'm seeing a lot of Asian players. I'm just keeping it real. I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing Shohei Ohtani. You know, I'm seeing Yu Darvish's son is already being talked about. Like, I'm like, all right, I can get back into baseball. I can get back into it, but I don't like the no salary cap thing. Okay. For the longest time, Spence, that's why also in America people wouldn't watch boxing, because it would feel like there's a guy that you're supposed to watch win, and then there's another guy who's supposed to be a taxi cab driver. Right? And then you were never told the story. You were never even explained. So, for example, on Saturday night, Spence, I'm sure you did not watch it. I'm positive, because I know you wouldn't have paid $80. No. I would have not told you to. In fact, I didn't even send it to you. I was like, I'm not sending you and I think the message I sent you, Spence, was, I'm not going to pay $80 for this bullshit. I think that's what I sent. So what happened is Tank Davis, Gervonta Tank Davis, who for all of you who are listening right now who are boxing fans, and if you love him, I'm sorry I'm about to say this, you have all been told that Gervonta Tank Davis is your Mike Tyson of this generation, which was all BS from all of us who actually watch boxing. That would literally be like if someone in the Raider fan base told you Zamir White was the next Bo Jackson. Like, if somebody said to you, Zamir White is the next Bo Jackson, you would be looking at him like he was crazy. That's what it felt like to hear a casual fan talk to us who say, oh, well, Tank Davis is amazing. Tank Davis should be in pound for pound. Turf, you already know how I feel about Tank Davis, and I'm saying it. Hop a rundown. I know you and I are going to have an argument about this. Tank Davis hasn't beaten anyone that will make it to the Hall of Fame. And the fact that he's on the pound for pound list is bullshit. All right? Tank Davis got exposed on Saturday, Spence. He fought a guy that no one knew about. I knew about him. A lot of us knew about him, but you wouldn't have known about him. His name is Lamont Roach. He's from the DMV area. The kid has been in the amateurs. He's very good at fighting. And he was the 130-pound world title. And I even said this on some other boxing shows. I said, I never want to talk poorly on any fighters who are a current or have won a world title. Yes. Because it's hard to do that. It is very difficult. So if you hear a casual fan say to you, Tank Davis fighting a nobody, he's just going to knock that guy out. That's why they don't know shit about boxing. Bang. Because if they knew and they actually listened, they would have known that Lamont Roach was a good bet to go to distance. Now, I'll admit, Chris asked me, Turf, Chris was asking me, like, should I bet it to go to distance? And all I kept telling him is, it's hard for me to say, bro, just because it's your money. But, like, Tank Davis can punch. We know that. Oh, yeah. Okay? We know he can punch. So I didn't want to tell him to put the money in for it. He ended up doing it, and he won himself some money, so that was good.
Bingo.
What was nice to see, though, is this whole Mike Tyson comparison, that shit is over. All right? Yeah. All over Instagram, all you have to see is the fact that the guy got a knockdown. He got knocked down on round 9. It's being argued right now that it isn't a knockdown when, if you have two eyes, Turf, was it a knockdown?
100% it was a knockdown.
It's as clear a knockdown is as the face mask that you saw Sam Darnold took when he was playing the Rams, right? The fact that it wasn't called during that live time is because supposedly there were technical difficulties happening in the replay booth, which, by the way, I don't know if you even knew this, Spence, but in New York, replay is allowable. They'll replay it. So if it was supposed to be a knockdown and then it wasn't, they're supposed to just go to replay and go, oh, that was a knockdown, right? So anyway, the fight ends in a draw. And then you hear the whole, oh my God, see, this is exactly why I don't watch boxing, because it's corrupt and blah, blah, blah. First of all, Spence, I asked you to pay $25 on February 22nd. I know you have to go watch, your kids, but of the fights you saw for $25,
Yeah, right.
did you see any type of tomfoolery at all, or did you look at it and go, this looks pretty professional to me?
They look good. It was a good fight.
Right.
The one I saw was good.
Right.
God, I don't even remember who was fighting.
Of course.
And that's fine.
I don't know the names anymore.
Fighters.
Yeah, no.
But it was good. It was entertaining.
Yes. And Spence, that's all we want.
That's
if you're going to be
all,
a casual fan, that's all we want you to say. All we want. It's like a casual baseball fan, right? Oh,
Right.
I went to the game.
Yeah.
Boy, it sure was entertaining.
Yep.
I agree.
Right?
Honestly, like the real problem is they just don't do a good job marketing the fighters.
Okay, now, thank
you
you
don't know.
thank you for saying that. Now, Spence, I always tell Turf this. When someone that lives in the United States of America says that very sentence, it always has to come with this disclaimer. They don't do a good job marketing in the United States. That's the disclaimer. Because outside of the United States,
Everybody knows.
bro, it's talked about in regular news. Like I'm serious. If you go to London, you will watch BBC or whatever you're watching, Sky, whatever. You're going to hear about, oh, this happened today, and then this happened, and then this bombing happened, and then this plane crashed. Oh, and by the way, in boxing news, this happened. Like, that's literally how it is outside. For Turf, I know you got some of your guys that live in Mexico.
Yeah.
Ask them. Regular ass Mexican news talks about boxing all the time.
Yeah.
In Canada, Spence, the only way they can get the NFL is to be subscribed to DAZN.
Exactly.
DAZN, which is the global home of boxing.
Right.
So guess what? They even get the news. So Stephen A. Smith, Molly, Shannon Sharp, Ocho Cinco, all you people who keep saying you love boxing, me and Turf are going to school you because you don't know shit about it. And until you know about it, until you know about what's actually happening in the world of boxing, you don't get to really say, you don't get to act like you have some kind of frame of reference. So I didn't appreciate, so I know one of your viewers earlier today, Turf, said, oh man, Turki Al-Sheikh and Dana White met. Blah, 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 right? First of all, let me tell you that I'm going to give you a context background on that and what's going to happen. But Turki Al-Sheikh also met with Tom Brady today. Okay? And I just want to let you know, that means one thing, Turf. All right? Raider Nation, get ready because Turki Al-Sheikh is coming. All right? You know Tom Brady ain't talking to him about no other team, man.
He's going straight to the building.
He's talking straight to the Raiders, bro. I don't be surprised if the first ever NFL game that happens in the Middle East happens to be a Raider game versus someone else.
Exactly.
All right? So, but the single person that me and Turf keep talking to you about, Spence, Turki Al-Sheikh, he is the person in charge of entertainment for all of Saudi Arabia, right? He is a worker, he works and listens to whatever the crown prince and the king tells him to do. Years ago, like I want to say like 10 years ago, right? The crown prince and the king was like, you know what we really want in Saudi and what we really want to dominate in? We want to dominate in sports, right? So one of the first things that they did is they got WWE. Then they also got involved in soccer. Then they got involved in Formula One racing. And then, I don't know if you remember this on regular news, Spence, they got involved in golf. And then remember how everybody was getting mad? You can't do that to golf. Golf is this. Golf is that. LIV golf's never going to work. And again, I'm sorry, chat, if you don't understand golf. I'm just telling you, this was a thing in the news. This was a regular thing in the news that was happening.
It
right?
really was.
Okay. All right. They went into that. And then in 2023, Spence, here's what happened. Turki Al-Sheikh, who has been a boxing fan longer than me and Turf have been, probably alive, honestly,
right.
or maybe that. But the
he's
guy
old.
knows boxing and loves boxing more than any of us. Okay, and you know when they say you got to put your money where your mouth is, well, he did. He put his money where his mouth is.
No, he's right. You are right.
So in 2023, Spence, the very complaint that every United States American boxing fan that left when they were like, oh, HBO's shutting down, we're not going to watch boxing no more. Showtime's not going to do it anymore. We're not watching boxing anymore. And then boxing became this weird thing that only the die-hard boxing people would pay whatever price just to literally drinking sand because they're so thirsty for water, right? That's what was happening to all of us. And then Turki Al-Sheikh came and said, explain to me the fucking problem again. Like, that guy's good and that guy's good. So why aren't they fighting? And what he figured out was this promoter didn't like this promoter.
Bingo.
And because that promoter and that promoter didn't like each other, it would literally be like if Mark Davis didn't like Jerry Jones. So the Raiders will never play the Cowboys.
Exactly.
When they're setting up the schedule. That's what it was like for boxing. That's exactly what it was like for boxing. It was like, never going to happen. Never, not. So that's what started happening. That's what was happening throughout the boxing. In Turf, we had to suffer through this shit, right?
We did.
Okay. Turki Al-Sheikh said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get the best boxing commission in the whole world to be in charge of my boxing that I'm going to put together. And you know what that is? That's across the Atlantic. The United Kingdom has a global boxing commission, Spence. They have a Roger Goodell who's in charge, and if somebody fucks around, then he actually punishes them, and referees get called for their shit, and there's no corruption bull crap that you hear about. That's how it's done outside the U.S. Right. So you have to have been like a really like deep boxing fan to continue to follow it and basically follow it outside of the U.S. While you were watching the United States continue to basically zombie. They were eating each other, right? The fans were disappearing, okay? People like you, good people like you, Spence, who actually would want to watch boxing. But, you didn't know any better, right? So, Turki Al-Sheikh, first thing he did is he took the best promoters in the UK, put them in a room together, let them eat together, and then they ended up being good friends and was like, why didn't we do this fucking 20 years ago? Right? So what you saw, sir, for $25 was some of the very best boxers in the whole world. In the whole world fighting each other.
That was crazy.
Spence,
that was crazy.
All right? You saw a Ukrainian guy. You saw like somebody from Dagestan. Like it was like an all-star game of boxing. British guy against this dude. You saw two Americans in there. You saw Shakur Stevenson, and then you saw Virgil Ortiz, right? Those are the two Americans. And then everybody else you saw, and you saw that they were all very competitive, very good fights. Why didn't Stephen A. Smith talk about it? Why didn't they spin a narrative to you that's not going to be the truth? Like me and Turf aren't going to get paid to promote something to you. Like Spence was even joking around, right? He was like, damn, Angelo, I don't know, he's promoting this. I'm promoting it, Spence, the same way you would promote baseball because you love it, right? Yeah. If you love something, you're going to talk about it. And if you don't love it, then you're not, right?
Correct.
Stephen A. Smith, ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't love boxing. He loves being famous, okay? But he didn't know boxing. He doesn't. He doesn't know boxing.
He's a basketball guy.
He's a basketball guy.
Yeah.
And all credit to Stephen A. Smith, by the way. $100 million, bro. 5 years. Good for you. Good for you. I'm just saying, like I want you to talk about boxing, but I want you to bring people on who will not spin this weird narrative.
Exactly. And
that boxing is terrible.
I agree with you. I can't deny that. I can't, if there's one thing that we can do in this, right? Because I can assure you, I'm going to get my guy up here. You're going to get some other guys up here, people that are really in this game from a, combat standpoint.
And even to fans, too, Turf. I want to get Spence on the show after he saw an event, and then I want him to tell us, hey, Spence, what did you like about the show? So that you can tell us what made you want to even spend your time watching it. Because, again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to our show right now, you could be doing a shitload of other things. You don't have to listen to us, right? So to me, guys, to me, boxing is something that I watch all the time. In fact, I tell Severe this all the time when he tries to argue with me about shit. I say to Severe, I watch more boxing in 1 week than most people do in 1 year. That's how much boxing I watch.
More than 1 year. I'd say 1 week you watch more than 2 years.
Decade.
I mean, I'm just saying, Turf.
Yeah, literally. No, seriously. Because we used to be similar with the traveling. I watch stuff a lot later, so half the time I do still watch it. I just don't get to watch it live like I'm used to. My kids will even tell you that. I've been having fight parties. Spence will tell you. I've been Spence for a decade.
No. I know, Turf.
Nothing to watch boxing, but
Turf. I totally know that you love boxing. That you don't have to convince me about that, anyways. And shout out to Papa Rundown, who literally Spence. This is how much Papa Rundown loves boxing. Okay. So remember how there was that big $25 7 world title fights on the 22nd, okay? Then on the 23rd, there was boxing in the daytime. And then at midnight on Sunday night in Japan, okay, there were world championship boxing happening. One of the fighters fighting was the ranked number 9 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Junto Nakatani. I'm gonna give you guys a hint right now. That dude is Pacquiao.
Bingo.
Junto Nakatani, pay attention to him right now. That man is a beast at 118 pounds, and he's like tall, so he's only gonna continue to fill up, and he's like knocking everyone out, Spence. All right, I'll save you the trouble, Spence, because I'll just send you the highlight. But essentially, okay, that night there were 2 world title fights at 118 and 1 eliminator fight at 118. Papa Rundown was on the phone with me while we watched it from midnight to 4 in the morning. Okay? So if you guys know, you think Papa Rundown loves the Raiders. Oh, he loves the Raiders. That guy loves boxing every bit as much, if not more, than the Raiders. Like, he is down with it. He knows his stuff, which is why I love talking to him. So shout out to Papa Rundown, man. I got to give you your love. Even though you give me a hard time about Tank Davis, I'm going to give you your love, bro. I'm going to give you your love.
Yeah.
So Spence, when I say to you that boxing is global, okay, of 122 pounders on down, 9 of them are the 9 world champions that are dominating 122 pounds and lower is from Japan.
Right, I was going to say none of them are.
Okay, so none of them are American.
No.
Okay, so Floyd, none, you're not going to hear like all the old names, right? Because none of them are American. And you know what? Kudos to that country for loving boxing so much that every single time they put on a fight card, it sells out anywhere between 20,000 to 60,000 people in the Tokyo Dome. Every time they put a fight card together, every time they put a fight card together, it's all the best fighters fighting the best fighters. Okay? So, right away, 122 on down, you're not going to hear any American names. All right? Okay. 160 pounds on up, I'm sorry. That used to be our division in America. We had Hagler,
Bro, that's
Rugami. We had like you Frazier. Like that was us, man. It was like USA basketball. We dominated it, and then that like that's it. Like if you think about in your lifetime, Spence, probably one of the last great heavyweights you could kind of remember, and I'm talking more recent times, is either going to be Vladimir Klitschko or Lennox Lewis. Neither one was American. So before that, the only name I'm going to give you is Mike Tyson.
Bingo.
Okay? Right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Tyson,
and then, again, respect to all of them. Evander Holyfield was dope. I'm a big Evander Holyfield guy. All right? But I'm just saying that the American, 160 on up kind of died, within that time period. And every other country does this thing with their Olympic sport where they put money into it, right? Russia funds their amateur athletes, and the UK fund their amateur athletes, and Mexico, and they all do it except for the United States. I don't know why.
It's a wild concept.
It's a wild concept, dude. I don't know why. So this is why, Spence, boxing over time became how the sentence always goes, boxing flows through the heavyweight, right? Boxing flows through the heavyweight division. That was always the sentence in the United States when people would say it. Boxing's going to be talked about when the heavyweights are talked about. Spence, can you name me one American current heavyweight right now? Just one, dude. Just name me one.
I'd have to Google it. I don't know.
The last guy you might remember is a guy by the name of Deontay Wilder.
I knew you were going to call Deontay.
Do you remember that name at all,
Yeah,
Spence?
Wilder and shoot, who did he fight? He fought somebody a couple times.
Right, exactly. Thank you, Spence. That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say. See, and this is why I love having Spence here, Turf, because this is the audience we have to educate, Turf.
No, I agree.
Okay,
Man,
Spence.
man.
The guy that he fought a couple of times, as you so eloquently refer to him, happened to be the number one heavyweight in the whole world. His name was Tyson Fury. He's 6'9". He beat Klitschko. He was killing everyone. And then Deontay Wilder was this big American hero, right? Because he was the next Mike Tyson. In all respect to Deontay Wilder, that guy was knocking everyone out. He was our greatest hope.
40-plus knockout.
Oh, man. Basically, he saw someone, and then Spence, he knocked them out. And it didn't matter how good they were, he knocked them out. And I give a ton of credit to Deontay Wilder because at the time, he was the best American heavyweight boxer. But he wasn't the best boxer in the world. Because the best boxer in the world had to fight. In order to be the best boxer in the whole world, you have to fight the best. And that's what Deontay Wilder did. So credit to Deontay Wilder for doing that. What he should have done, Spence, and me and Turf will agree on this, is he should have fought Anthony Joshua. Now, have you heard that name before? Anthony Joshua? Not at all. Okay. So Anthony Joshua is a model-looking physique. He looks like DK Metcalf times 100. He looks amazing.
He's a specimen, but
this guy won the gold medal in 2012, right? Deontay Wilder won the bronze medal in 2008. And then they were building him up, and everybody was looking forward to it, and they were seeing it. And basically, Anthony Joshua did this thing called fighting a fat guy, I didn't think he was fat, but he looks rumpalicious, right? By the name of Turf. Why am I forgetting his name? Because he won the world title. Andy Ruiz.
Yes.
Andy Ruiz. Do you know that name? Are you familiar with that name, Spence?
I've heard it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's actually from, I want to say he's from the Northeast. I want to say he's from Massachusetts.
Okay. I know we trained with him in L.A.
Well, I mean, look, I'm going to check that out because I don't want to be crazy.
All right. So, Spence, Andy Ruiz does something.
Oh, no, he's not from.
Andy Ruiz does something crazy that hadn't been done since Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson. He knocked out Anthony Joshua in Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
And everyone in America actually was talking about it.
California all day.
Yeah. Everyone is talking. He's the first Mexican-American heavyweight. He's the short. He looks like a fat, short guy. He honestly, dude, like he does not look
Fat
like
guy power.
Yeah. All right. But here's what I can tell you, Spence. If you do your homework, right? Andy Ruiz was one of the people that was actually training at Wildcard Gym when I was there with Freddie Roach. Like that. Like this guy was legit good. He was legit good, and we knew he had the speed, hand speed, power to knock out anyone. Right? That was his night. Anthony Joshua, blah blah blah. But you didn't know about him. Doesn't matter. You heard about Deontay Wilder, who was basically the king of knockouts, and he's the baddest man on the planet, and blah blah blah. So he fought Tyson Fury. He fights Tyson Fury.
You talked about him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Now,
Bingo.
check this out.
Bingo.
He fights Tyson Fury in one of the most dramatic heavyweight fights that you've seen in the last 5 years. In where, and I'm sure you've seen this highlight before, Spence, Tyson Fury gets punched like he was going to die, dude. Like, Deontay Wilder hit him so hard, okay? And this was already, I think, his third knockdown in the 12th round. So he'd already been knocked down prior, during the fight. And everybody's like sitting there wondering, oh man, is Deontay Wilder going to pull this off? Because he's kind of behind on the scorecards because he's been outboxed by this 6'9" guy who knows how to jab, right? So everybody's watching this. He hit this guy so hard, Spence. I kid you not. You can watch the documentaries where he talked about it. He thought he died. He said, I was out. And he said what woke him up was he hit the canvas so hard that it woke him up. But when he got hit, so imagine Spence.
Lights out.
Like you got hit so hard, bro, that you were already out. And it had to be falling and your head hitting the ground that hard for you to wake back up. Right?
So, hey, real quick, I'm showing a new scene here because I put a whole lot of work into it, and I knew I was right. I put up the wrong one. Yep, I put up the wrong one.
You put an Andy Ruiz thing.
I put up Andy, but hold on.
Okay, all right.
Because you guys heard me say what I said, right? You saw the Ruiz.
Oh, yeah. John Ruiz.
I tell y'all, I was thinking about John Ruiz.
Right.
Spencer, this is a guy you probably would know. And remember, potentially, if you were like, oh, yeah, I remember this guy. But as you can see, he's from Chelsea, Massachusetts. Born and raised. John Ruiz. He is actually a heavyweight world titleist.
He won some fights, Turf. I mean, he was a world champion, and you'll most likely know him, Spence, for being the guy that Roy Jones Jr. beat to become the heavyweight champion.
For the heavyweight title. Correct.
That's how most people would remember John Ruiz. He's the guy that Roy Jones beat to become the world champion at heavyweight, right?
Okay. But the Holyfield fight was where he was really.
Right. Yeah. But anyway, Spence.
I just had to put that out there, though. You know, I want to make sure.
No, thank you, Turf. No, thanks, Turf. So, Spence, that fight, right? He hits the guy. The guy falls. Somehow, by miracle, dude, like Undertaker in WWE, he comes back to life. And if you watch the whole clip, you see Deontay Wilder hitting him with the hook, knocking him out, then blowing a kiss to the crowd like the fight is over, right? He's shimmying and shaking. He's celebrating. And then the dude turns around like it was Rocky 1 and it was Apollo Creed looking at Rocky, and he looked at that guy and said, I can't believe this MFer is getting up right now.
Yep.
What do I do?
Yeah.
Now, if that doesn't excite you as a sports fan, then I don't know why you're watching boxing. Because that's the type of shit me and Turf are used to. We're like, oh my God, bro. They should stop the fight right now. I don't know why they're not stopping the fight. And then somehow dude comes back. And then we're like, that's why they didn't stop the fight. Because this guy came back, right? Gotti Ward type stuff, right? And you know who Arturo Gotti and Mickey Ward is, right? Okay.
Yeah,
all right. So that happened, and then Deontay Wilder did the right thing in fighting him 2 more times, getting the highest payday in both times of the rematch. So they did a rematch, then they did a trilogy. Deontay Wilder got destroyed. In the meantime, Spence, okay?
I like Deontay. I'm sorry.
And I love Deontay.
I like Deontay Wilder just as FYI.
No. And again, I'm just trying to educate our dear Spence about why boxing is worthwhile in the U.S.
Right.
The problem is, Spence, instead of like how a Major League Baseball team or an NFL team or an NBA team is trying to train the people underneath so that when the guy that's the starter is ready to be, put to bench or whatever, there's someone coming up. Okay, no one in America was doing that.
Nope.
All right? Everybody was not. I mean, like one of my theories, and I told this to Turf, is if you're a kid in high school and you're big and you're tall and you're strong, then I'm either putting you in basketball, football, or baseball.
Bingo.
Right? Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
It's nationalism, pure and simple.
Right. Right.
Why aren't there any great F1 drivers from America? Why aren't there any? Who are the great soccer players?
Right. So
playing overseas, like there aren't any.
Exactly. Now you couple that with this very fact when it comes to the sport of boxing, Spence. All the other countries' amateur programs, they put money into it. So all those amateur boxers that have 200 amateur fights, 300 amateur fights, winning golds, winning silvers, competing, like they compete, I don't know, every 3 weeks, like literally, okay? That's like watching. So I watch amateur boxing because it's like watching a combine.
Yeah.
You're trying to see who the next great is. So I'm going to put a tip to all of you guys listening to the show right now. Spence, you're going to hear this name, and if I'm wrong, then you can call me on it. There's a kid who won the bronze medal for us from Orlando, Florida. He won the bronze medal in the Paris Olympics. His name is Omari Jones. Okay?
I know exactly what you're talking
about. Omari Jones. Okay? Omari Jones, Spence, has a karate background, which Turf will tell you that's my background, right? And then his dad was smart enough to be like, hey, you're pretty good at this karate stuff because you started it when you were 8. And you have good stancing, you understand distance, you're not afraid of, contact. Cool. Let's put you into boxing now that you're 12, right? Or 13 or whatever it was. Then the kid does so good that he becomes the Olympic representative. He goes to Paris. He wins a bronze. Okay? Right? Okay, check this out. This kid just signed a contract to be with Eddie Hearn, who is the #1 promoter in England, but probably a little bit more globally because he has a lot of different fighters from all the different countries, right? Eddie Hearn is the tall, kind of handsome-looking British guy who everybody will get intimidated with because he talks a lot of smack but he talks a lot of smack for his fighters. Eddie Hearn has signed some of the best American fighters that we have, okay? All right? But this Omari Jones kid is making a pro debut, Spence, next week for free on DAZN TV. Okay? He's making his pro debut next week. I'm going to send you the link. Don't worry, buddy. I'm just going to send it to you.
How do they do it in Vegas?
All right. Yeah. All right.
Do your chips, whatever you're winning.
But Omari Jones, you're going to see this kid. If they do him right, if they let him actually compete against some really good folks and bring him up correctly, the same way they brought up Abdullah Mason.
Game over. It's game.
Okay, which is Turf's guy. Abdullah Mason.
Ladies
and gentlemen, Abdullah Mason is Turf's guy.
He knows that.
Okay.
I've been saying that from young folk.
But Spence, remember the name Omari Jones. Because if about 2 years from now you say to me, hey, Angelo, I remember you told me about that kid, Omari Jones. He's like Sugar Ray Leonard. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I know. I told you. He's 6 foot tall. I don't even know what weight he's going to start with yet. He might be 140.
Polarized.
He might be 147. But this kid, man, he's fast. He's fast and he's good.
Right? Speed kills, bro.
So anyway,
so that's the thing. Now, I don't mean to cut you off, but what I really just want to make sure people comprehend, because Floyd was one of the people that succumbed to this thing that is called speed. People don't understand. Speed is no different than football. You watch these running right? Why do you think the 4-3 running back is so coveted? It's a game changer. It's no different than boxing. Speed absolutely murders. I don't care how well you time it, how well you're good at timing it. Any of those things, when the right dude that has it comes across your way, it is over.
So and it's
wrong. Am I wrong?
No, not at all, Turf. And in fact, Spence, you'll remember this because I know you were at least watching this guy in that 90s 2000 era, or you would have heard about him because he had a Nike commercial. Do you remember a guy by the name of Roy Jones Jr.?
Yes.
Okay.
Fastest dude
Right?
ever. Yeah, I did that.
Okay, Roy Jones Jr. Like, you totally know who that is, right?
Yep.
He got robbed in the 1988 Seoul Korea Olympics. Worst robbery in Olympic history. Like, right? But then he came up and he dominated 160, then he dominated 168, then he dominated 175, and then he moved all the way up to heavyweight to become the heavyweight world champion, beating John Ruiz, who Turf put a lot of work into trying to find out.
Exactly.
Right?
I knew he was from Mass too. Hey, bro, I know my boxing.
So Spence, since I want to bring you in, bro. I want you to want to love boxing. Okay, the new Roy Jones Jr. and I've been saying this to Turf forever. The new Roy Jones Jr. that already has 32 wins. He already has 30 knockouts. And the only reason why you don't know about him is because they were not promoting him, like you said, in the United States. Okay?
Well, it's J.B.
Yeah. His name, Spence, is Jaron Boots Enos from Philadelphia. Okay? Jaron Boots Enos is so good, Spence. He's so good that Turf's current favorite fighter, Terrence Crawford, don't want to fight him. Yeah. That's how good he is.
Not worth it. It's not worth it.
I get it, Turf. I get it. But,
You're right. You're right.
Turf, he doesn't want to fight
anybody named Boots
right?
either.
He don't want no piece of Boots either.
Bro, I grew up with my boy Boots Morrell from Bloomfield, Connecticut. You didn't want to fight that brother either, bro. Nobody with a nickname Boots. Just forget about it.
No. All right. So check this out, Spence. Okay, I'm gonna tune you into Jaron Boots Enos because I've been talking about this guy forever. Okay,
I want to see him.
All right, Jaron Boots Enos is 6 foot tall. He's at 147 pounds. He can fight orthodox or southpaw. For you viewers who don't understand what that means, it means you could fight right-handed or left-handed. It doesn't matter. Okay.
Well, hey, see, so this is what we have to educate. Because what does matter is actually fighting left-handed. That matters more than y'all will ever understand in your lifetime.
Right.
If you are a fighter coming up, the chances of you getting southpaws, 10%.
Unless, and again, disclaimer on that statement.
Southpaws. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got to give them the game.
Okay.
Real southpaw, 10%. You're not. Yes, southpaws don't come around like that.
Now, here's the thing, Spence. I always want to put a disclaimer when Turf will say stuff like that. 10% if you live in the United States.
Right. Yeah,
outside of the United States, here's how it works.
Yeah.
All right,
Spence, get a little bit more.
This is how they teach you boxing, Spence. If I was teaching your kids, this is what we do. We go, okay, hey, Spence, is he left-handed or right-handed? Oh, okay, cool. And then we look at the kid. And then if it looks like his right hand is the better hand, we're going to make that the front hand. Did you know that Oscar de la Hoya was left-handed?
Yes.
Because most people didn't know that Oscar de la Hoya was left-handed, which is why you saw him jabbing and hooking the hell out of people back in them days.
That's why it was so strong, because that's what's dominant hand.
Dominant hand, right? That's how it works. So if you live outside of the U.S., only in the U.S. is it – I mean, now it's starting to change a little bit. But anyway, well, actually, what's starting to happen now is they're starting to teach them both styles.
And ambidextrous. I was just going to say they're more ambidextrous than anything.
And again, me and Turf will get into those details on the knockout canvas and explain to you why it matters to be one way and another. It's the same thing as zone scheme versus power scheme.
It matters.
You know, like it matters. Like so. So like
right?
like Spence was
coming down from a southpaw, you are in danger.
Right. So Spence,
danger, bro.
Spence, I'll make it simple for you this way. Just recently, you watched the heavyweight guys, the Chinese guy Zhile Zhang versus Agit Kabayel, the German guy. Before you left for your kid's game, you watched that fight, right?
Yep.
Okay. You remember the German guy knocked out the Chinese guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You remember the German guy knocking out the Chinese guy, correct? Right.
Yes.
But you saw the Chinese guy knock down the German guy in the third round, correct?
It was going to be, yeah.
Okay. This is why it matters, ladies and gentlemen, just so that you understand. The German guy fights orthodox, or as we call it, right? Orthodox, or that means your left hand is in the front,
and your
right? And your right hand is in the back.
It's your power hand.
Okay. The Chinese guy fights
southpaw.
His right hand is in the front.
Yeah.
His left hand is in the back. Okay. Now, the Chinese guy who was a former world champion, his name is Zhile Zhang, and he just knocked out Deontay Wilder 6 months ago, right? That was his big win. He knocked out Wilder in the fifth.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Zhile Zhang was the favorite to knock out the German guy, because Zhile Zhang, as a Chinese person, is 6'6" and 300 pounds.
Don't make sense.
He could play center for us. Okay? He's that big. Okay? So when you were looking at that fight, Spence, and you were like, why is the Kabayel guy from Germany so small? Because the Kabayel guy from Germany, Spence, is 6'4", 250 pounds. Okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you love football, then you understand when big people like Derrick Henry are running, mowing people down, okay, with a ball, because he's 250 pounds and he's 6'5" or 6'4", right? You enjoy it. You're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Derrick Henry. Okay, what Spence watched as the second fight of the night was two Derrick Henrys hitting each other as hard as they could.
Dude.
Okay? That's why Spence, and I want to ask you, because I know you were watching it casually, but did it seem to you that they weren't punching that hard? Like when they threw a punch, did it feel like they were just kind of throwing technical punches?
Yeah.
Right. Okay? Because everybody thinks that when you're throwing punches, you have to like make this grunt sound or like this, The truth of the matter is, Spence, if you weigh 300 pounds, bro, okay, and you put hands on someone, you don't got to try that hard. You just got to put your hands on them. And I promise you, they're going to go down.
Okay. All the way over.
So now, for everybody who wants to understand why me and Turf get excited about boxing in general, but heavyweight boxing in particular, is your body could weigh 250, 300 pounds. You could be 6'6", but your head is going to be about the same size as my head and Turf's head and Spence's head. So the head doesn't change. So the only thing that changes is how much punishment you're willing to take and how much punishment you're willing to give. Now that is exciting. And I don't know why people don't think that's exciting. That's exciting. Two people, mano y mano, saying to themselves, I'm going to hit you, you're going to hit me, let's see who lasts longer. Right? Okay.
But
so
they get excited when it's an American.
And that's the thing. We don't have all of our Americans at this weight are going to other sports.
Right. And all the Americans at this weight is Derrick Henry. You know, here's fun fact for people who are listening to the show right now. Okay, Frank Gore, who's one of the best running backs we've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's boxing this month. He's on a boxing card.
Rank.
Okay, so a lot of them. Adrian Peterson, he boxed, right? The running back from the Steelers.
The Steelers, right. Le'Veon Bell. Yep.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell. He's boxing right now, right? I'm just saying, like, those guys, if they didn't go into football, would probably be boxing and would probably be heavyweight fighters. So, but anyhow, I say all of this just to say the righty and the lefty thing matters, because when you were watching that fight, Spence, and you saw Zhilei Zhang, who's a lefty, southpaw, so his right hand's in front, drop the dude, you probably thought, oh no, that smaller guy who's 6'4", 250, he's about to get knocked out, right? Okay? And then what happened, Spence? That guy came back in 2 more rounds and knocked the bigger guy out, Zhang. Yep. And you know why he knocked him out? Me and Turf will tell you why. Because on the right side of your body, there's this thing called a liver. Okay? I just got a liver transplant, ladies and gentlemen, 31 months post. So I can tell you how important it is to have one of these. Okay? Zhilei Zhang, from round 1 to round 6, kept taking heavyweight hits in that pocket area. So if I told you Spence, if I said Spence, I want you to stand I want you to stand there in the wall. Okay? And I'm going to repeatedly punch you on your liver area for 18 minutes. But I'm going to give you 1-minute breaks. Okay? So I'm going to hit you for a minute, and I'm going to give you a minute how long you last. I don't know how athletic you are, Spence, but I don't know if you would last 18 minutes. Okay? But if you did last 18 minutes, I'll give you props, bro. Because that's how long that guy lasted taking that punishment.
Bingo.
18 minutes. So, righty, lefty, 100%, ladies and gentlemen, does matter. And me and Turf, again, will break that down more specifically. Again, I'm saying it to Spence because I want him to appreciate that even the stancing when he's watching the boxing, it's like watching watching running plays. That's the best way.
No, it all matters. It absolutely matters. Yeah. Here's your best punch. Like, all of this stuff matters.
It's like you're right. You're either running through the center, you're either running behind the left guard. Like, that all matters when you're watching boxing too. You have to just see what they're trying to do. Okay? So, in more recent news, so that I could bring it all around, Turf, right?
Yeah.
The news is this week has been bang, bang, bang. And they're all doing it in New York, which is in America for anyone who doesn't know. New York City is in the United States, right?
Yes, sir.
And for everybody who was doubting me when I said it in 2024 that boxing is going to be back in the biggest way possible, and you guys were all nah, blah. Okay, you can all shut up now because literally,
Angelo,
literally, what just occurred, okay, Spence, on Tuesday, it was announced that in the middle of Times Square, for the first time ever in the history of any sport, they're going to put a ring in the middle of Times Square where they drop the New Year's ball. All right? Okay, and then they're going to rope off 300 seats because everyone else is going to get to walk around for free like they normally do in Times Square. The millions of people that walk around Times Square. Right? And all over the screens that you see advertising in Times Square, it's going to look like a television screen for an event. And it's not football. And it's not baseball. And it's not basketball. It's boxing. It's boxing, ladies and gentlemen.
Where is that going to be televised?
And that's the thing, Spence. Yeah. It'll be free, dude.
It should be.
It will be free. They're just trying to figure out which partner wants to have it for free. That's all. Okay? Wow. But now here's the kicker. It isn't just any regular boxing match, Spence. All right? This isn't like a bunch of garbage guys that are in the middle of the ring at some circus. Okay? It's not like 2 kangaroos. Dude, so last year, Gervonta Tank Davis, they were bragging about that he was able to get 1 million pay-per-view buys. On his fight, or it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they were talking about this. Like, I want to say a year and a half ago. Then last year, there was this other fight that happened in New York between these two fighters, and it got over 1.2 million pay-per-view buys or something like that, right? Okay, the two fighters I'm talking about is one guy's name is Ryan Garcia. The other guy's name is Devin Haney, okay? Now, I understand, Spence, you're totally a casual guy. So let me give you a context on Ryan Garcia, okay? Ryan Garcia is basically Jake Paul, but he's actually really good at boxing.
A good fighter.
That's who Ryan Garcia is. He, from a very young age, he even had a television show. From a very young age, though, he'd always been a boxer. He went through the amateurs. He did the whole thing. He's a legit boxer. But he was also a major social media star. So he has his own little millennial, like if you have kids, your kids might know who Ryan Garcia is.
Right.
Like that. That's how popular he is.
They will know who he is. They will know.
All right. So that's Ryan Garcia. That's the guy who's headlining the free New York City event that you're watching for free on May 2nd. So try to hate on boxing now. It's free. Okay? Okay, now that's the main event. And he's not fighting like some chump.
No.
He's fighting a guy who can knock him out, right? Rolly Romero.
Yes.
Okay? But that's not all, folks. That's not all. Then the undercard fight to that is the guy he beat last year, Devin Haney, who a lot of people believe is one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. The guy beat Lomachenko, right? He was the unified champion until he got beat the heck out of himself by Ryan Garcia, right? Devin Haney, he's fighting on the same card. Now, normally, this card will cost you like $80.
Right.
And it costs you nothing. It's free.
Right. It is.
Okay? So he's fighting against not a nobody again. And again, I'm trying to explain to Spence because the narrative used to be star guy will fight garbage cleaner. Okay? Doesn't happen.
Right.
Hasn't happened in 2 years. It's best is fighting the best. The guy he's fighting used to be the pound for pound number 7 guy who was the unified champion just 2.5 years ago.
In the world.
That's the guy he's fighting now. Jose Ramirez, who, by the way, fought for us in the Olympics. He's a Mexican-American Olympian, right? So, you already know he's got his own set of fans. That's just those two fights. And then the third fight they've announced is a kid by the name of Teofimo Lopez, right?
I forgot about
now, a lot of New York, you might not know who that is. That's okay, but a lot of New Yorkers do. A lot of people know who Teofimo Lopez is. And he's fighting the guy who also is undefeated, 31-0, just went to England and beat the England guy to become the WBO interim champion. So like I said, not an A-list guy fighting a garbage person.
Right.
It's literally 50-50 fights across the board.
So, hey, you got a question from Sam. Angelo or Turf, do you think Loma beats Haney?
100%. 100%, bro. And even Severe hates me for always saying that. But Sam, 100%. Lomachenko beat Haney, and I wasn't the only one. And a lot of people in the broadcast felt the same way. But you know what? Whatever. Like, we move on. Like, it is what it is. We move on. Just like Spence doesn't know this because this was major media for boxing. But so Ryan Garcia beat the hell out of Haney last year. The reason why Haney is undefeated is because supposedly Ryan Garcia was caught with a substance that he wasn't supposed to use, and the New York State Athletic Commission overturned it from a win to a no contest, blah, 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 whatever. All technicalities, but with my own eyes and Turf's own eyes, we saw him get his ass beat in front of 1.2 million pay-per-view buyers. Pretty much. But yes, Haney 100% lost to Lomachenko. That's a conversation for me and Turf on the knockout canvas one of these days. and I'll bring in Severe, and we can talk about it all he wants. Right. But, whatever, right? No, anyway.
No, I agree. And hey, Sam, shout out to Sam.
Shout out to Sam. Thank you, Sam.
Shut her down due to corruption and judging. You're right.
So Spence, those 3 fights are going to bring in your kids, other fans from Mexico. Like, they basically made it so that all these different fan demographics are going to watch America for free, United States, at Madison Square Garden, like, and I don't even know how they're making money for this, because this is all spending money. None of this is gaining money. All of they're paying. And by the way, these fighters, Spence, these fighters aren't getting paid peanuts, bro. They're getting paid
real
possibly double-digit millions at least.
Again,
anywhere from 10 to 15 million. Like I don't know exactly what their numbers are. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, dude. Like, this is just being handed out. Now, I say that to you, Spence, to say this. That's the first event you're going to see on that whole weekend, because the next day, on May 3rd, in Saudi, in Riyadh, they're going to have Canelo fight.
Yeah.
So
it's getting
wild. Essentially, dude, you're gonna watch on Friday, May 2nd, some of the best boxing you've seen for free. And then the next day, you're going to see it again for free. It's just, and what people were worried about is, oh no, it's going to be at Saudi time. And I understand, like what happened with you, Spence. The event started at 9 a.m. and then it went to 5. Like, I get it, right?
Yeah.
This time around, what Saudi is doing is they're making sure they run it in their morning time so that it's in American 5 p.m. time.
Right.
5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m.
Smart.
Eastern. So you're going to get to watch Canelo and a whole great bunch of cards. And one of the guys you're going to get to watch on that card in Riyadh is a guy by the name of Martin Bakole, who you might not have seen, but he's essentially the George Foreman of this group. But he happened to have gotten knocked out on February 22nd by Joseph Parker.
He should have. He just took the money. He needed the money.
Now here's the thing, and here's the storyline to that, Spence. Martin Bakole, believe me, man, is a scary individual. He destroyed the American hopeful that we had, Jared Anderson, who was being built up to be like the next Muhammad Ali, and he basically got knocked the hell out in like 4 rounds. He got knocked out so bad, Spence. For any of you guys who want to watch it, Bakole versus Jared Anderson, any of you want to see it, Jared Anderson got knocked out so badly that he almost fell out of the ring. That's how bad it was. It was that bad. It was destruction, right? This guy is 6'6", 300 pounds, okay? Right? But he's only 30 years old, Spence. He's only 30, okay? So here's the thing about Bakole. He took that fight in Riyadh on February 22nd in 48-hour notice. He literally was in Congo, and they were like, hey, man, this other guy that was preparing for 8 weeks, like he got taken out by the commission because he was sick, so he can't fight. And we need an opponent. Would you, who is the current #1 ranked...
Should have never did it.
Yeah, well, again, Turf, you know, I got to love him for being the real. Because, Turf, here's the thing. Back in the old days, I'm going to bring you back to Sugar Ray Robinson.
Well, no, of course. You take the...
All right?
I mean, you just...
In the Sugar Ray Robinson days, Turf,
I agree.
Sugar Ray Robinson would fight, and then 7 days later, fight again.
Correct. You stay ready. You stay ready no matter what. Whether
you stay ready no matter what.
Months.
All right?
Stay ready.
Okay? And to be fair,
I agree.
For any of you guys who want to watch the replay of Martin Bakole versus Joseph Parker, it only lasted 1.5 rounds. All right? But to be fair, Bakole was kind of hitting him pretty hard, Turf, in the first round. It looked good. It looked like he could have pulled off an upset.
He was prepared for it.
All right. And then what happened is Joseph Parker, who, by the way, who looked smaller, Spence, in that fight. Joseph Parker, sir, I've met him in person. He's a super nice guy. He's 6'5", and in that fight, he weighed 270 pounds. Just want to let you know. Okay, so when he hit him, when he hit him with that punch, okay, when he hit him, Spence, with that punch, and you saw Bakole kind of like dance around, right, and then fall like timber, right? If I said to you, hey, Spence, I'm gonna hit you right here with 270 pounds worth of weight, I'm gonna hit you right there, bro. Come on, all right, like I'm not gonna hate on someone who got hit. He got caught with the right shot, right? Tyson used to do that to people all the time. So, anyway, I say all the Martin Bakole stuff to say the good news for boxing is because Turki Al-Sheikh is willing to let the best fight the best. He was like, hey, Martin Bacoli, are you ready to fight in May? And Bacoli was like, hell yeah, I'm ready to fight in May. And he goes, okay, great. You're going to fight the ranked number 8 heavyweight in the world. How about that? So now you're going to see him fight the ranked number 8 heavyweight in the world.
That's great.
As Spence, not as a co-main event, Spence, as just another undercard fight on May 3rd, bro. For free, dude. Like,
wow.
this is wild, bro. This is, you have to understand, this is literally like, if you like, for you guys who are listening, if you're a boxing fan and you're a football fan, if I said to Spence, we're gonna have the Super Bowl on Friday, and then I say to Spence, hey Spence, we're gonna do it again on Saturday, right? Spence would be like, I don't understand.
Not even possible.
I don't understand that concept, right? Or here, I'll give it to you in this context, Spence, because you love all sports. If I said to you, Spence, on Friday we're going to do the Super Bowl, but then on Saturday we're going to do the World Series, Game 7, right? You're going to be like, oh, I'm tuning in this weekend for this.
Right.
Now, again, this is Cinco de Mayo weekend, which is arguably the largest weekend for boxing viewers, okay? So this is before Mother's Day. So don't worry, guys. You'll be able to thank your mom after you see this amazing Cinco de Mayo weekend. Okay? So, Spence, we have one fight in America, in the United States, for free, in the streets of New York, on Times Square, where millions of people are just going to be walking around going, hey, what's going on? Oh, my God. No, wait, right? Okay, that's insane already. That's insane, okay? Then the next day, we're going to be like, oh, of course we're going to watch Canelo. Wait a minute, though. We don't got to pay $100 to watch Canelo? Wait. Who are all these other guys? Who's that big 6'6", 300-pound guy? Like, that's what's happening. It's literally like you would have to basically be not watching TV to not know that these boxing events are happening May 2nd and May 3rd. Now, here's the kicker, Spence. This is what made it insane, and they announced it today. This is how insane it is that Saudi is putting this much money into it, okay? Friday, May 2nd, New York City. Saturday in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, but it'll be shown on American time. On Sunday, Spence, on Sunday, at regular primetime TV, for free, Spence, for free. Probably on ESPN, by the way, but for free. You're going to get to watch the number 2 pound-for-pound best fighter in the world coming all the way from Japan. His name is Naoya Inoue. He's called the Monster, Spence, and he's called the Monster for a reason. He's got like a 90% knockout ratio. This guy is the real deal.
Correct.
And Spence, you know how people like always, me and Turp will talk about this. One of the things that people have said they don't like is there's so many different belts in boxing, okay? Right? And I try to explain this to people, Spence, in this manner. I try to say to them, well, did you watch college football when they had all those different bowl games and there was all those different bowl championships? Well, that's kind of how boxing was being run. Same thing, okay? But the difference is there was this thing that got to happen in boxing that didn't get to happen in college football, which is why they changed it to the playoff system for college football. This thing called an undisputed champion. The undisputed champion gets to hold all the belts. You remember Roy Jones Jr. was that at one point in his career, right?
Undisputed, yeah.
Okay, so this Japanese guy, the Monster, named Naoya Inoue, everyone, look him up. He holds all the belts. He's beaten your best American fighters. He's beaten your best Russian fighters. He's beaten your best English fighter. He beat them all down. He beat them all down so bad, Spence, right? He's like Jordan. He beat them all down so bad, they're just like bringing in the number 2 contender, the number 3 contender. So he's fighting a legit guy. Like the guy fought his way up to get a title shot.
Right.
But he's fighting. And then they're bringing in the 6-foot-tall, 126-pound, undefeated Mexican world champion killer as the co-main event on Cinco de Mayo Sunday, dude.
Right.
Like that. So that's literally like Spence. If I said to you, Spence, we're gonna watch the Super Bowl on Friday. We're gonna watch Game 7 of World Series on Saturday. Then we're gonna go ahead and watch the World Cup of Soccer on Sunday, bro.
Right.
The problem is that I just don't I don't know the names. Like
Right.
you spend the, like if I was invested in the boxing world as you, like I would be really excited about that. But like,
And that's
I
what
love the nickname.
And that
The monster.
and
The monster needs to
happen.
fight Boots.
yes,
Right.
and Spence.
He needs to fight Boots, see? And that's the part that is slowly starting to turn.
Exactly, Spence. Because Spence,
It'll come, but you got to remember, Angelo, it's very different.
I understand.
So
but
I understand that it is about names. It is about, I mean, the records and all of that stuff does matter to an extent, but for the most part, it's just a matter of getting the exposure.
The exposure.
And the exposure is what's going to change the game. I mean, we at 11 o'clock, my time, we are right at that spot where it's perfect. People got to go to work. I got a flight.
All right, Spence. All right, so Spence, I'm glad. I just one last thing, dude. I'm glad you said it that way because that's why at this point we don't care that much that you don't know who they are. We just care that you give it a try, like you did on February 22nd, so that you go, oh, that was worth my time.
Correct.
And then
I'll
eventually,
tell you the last great American fighter that I remember watching was Floyd.
Yes, absolutely. It's Floyd Mayweather.
He was so boring to watch, so boring. He was so technically sound and he was so fast. You couldn't land punches, and he would just defend the whole fight.
right
And he would just beat you
now,
on the card. He didn't care. He didn't try.
here's the thing, Spence.
You're right.
And this is, and I'm glad he said this too, Turf. So just give me a moment to explain this to Spence because you already know how I feel about Floyd.
Yeah,
right?
I do.
Okay, so Spence, here's the problem with whatever news you listen to or whatever you're being told. You're going to be told a narrative that is accessible to you.
Correct.
Okay? And the narrative that was being told to you for a good long time is Floyd Mayweather is boring. Floyd Mayweather is boring. Floyd Mayweather is boring. But, Spence, if you watch boxing the way me and Turf watch boxing, you might have remembered that same Floyd Mayweather who got robbed of a medal in the Atlanta Games in 1996 came out of boxing, and he was called Pretty Boy Floyd. And Pretty Boy Floyd was knocking everyone out.
Right.
He knocked Diego Corrales out. He was knocking everyone out. But then he turned into Money Mayweather, and they had to create this villain spin so that people like you, Spence, just didn't like him and just wanted to see him lose. So that's why you got brainwashed into thinking that he didn't hit hard. But believe me, he hit very hard, which is why
he hit very hard when he was younger, but he didn't knock anyone out when he was older.
Well, now again, Spence, I don't want to make it too long, but I'll just say this so that Spence will know when we bring him back.
Yeah,
so Spence, Canelo Alvarez, who you know, fought Mayweather. Do you remember this at all? Okay. It was a huge event in Las Vegas. He fought Floyd Mayweather in the whole bit. He was 22 years old. He fought Floyd. They were both undefeated, blah, blah, blah. I can tell you because I was row 7 on that fight, okay, on the floor. I'm just saying, all right? Thank you, Floyd, for the tickets.
Right.
But I'm just saying, right? I watched Canelo get scared badly from how Floyd would hit him and sweat would fly out of his head when Floyd hit him every time, that if you re-watch the fight, what you would actually see is someone in Canelo making sure he didn't get knocked out.
Yeah.
Right? From a fight like that.
Correct. No, people don't know that.
Now again, Spence, bro, I get you. You've been told, just like you've been told this whole time, that boxing sucks and it's dying and the whole bit. When literally, Spence, just this week alone, they sold 48 hours. It took them 48 hours to sell 65,000 seats at Hotspur Stadium in the UK for Chris Eubanks versus Conor Benn. They put tickets out in 48 hours. They sold it in 48 hours. If boxing was dying, then why are stadiums getting filled out?
The easiest way to explain this one, Spence, honestly, is it's the good old adage saying, right? Why didn't he press him? Why didn't he just walk through the stuff? That's why. But you think it doesn't hurt. But when you catching it like that, like Angelo just said, it may not look all that great to the crowd, right? It may not look like it was all that big of a deal, but you as a fighter, that's not going to be a long night for me. If I press this and I let him catch me really when I'm not seeing it, it's night. And that's why Canelo decided to box out. And you take we'll take the 12 round loss, because I'm not about to put my neck out there and get scorched. And that is the truth. Like there's no easier way to. There's nothing about he's pretty. No, it's literally I'm touching you enough that if you get reckless, it's over, and you're gonna wake up. And that's really what it boils down to. And that may even translate into, Floyd's hands got broke. But the bottom line is he'll break his hands knowing he's going to knock you out. You see, you get that, then that's really the game that nobody could ever understand, in my opinion.
Well, we're going to try to explain it, though, Turf. Yeah. Me and Turf will try to educate people at the knockout canvas.
That's really what that was. Though.
What you watched, right? What you saw. So I just want to say this last thing, Spence. Yeah. So the big exciting news and part of the reason why Tom Brady was shaking hands with Turki Al-Sheikh today,
you can get a chance to
is because Allegiant Stadium, September 12th, will be Canelo versus Crawford.
Yeah, that's great.
That's the date.
That's great.
Now, Spence, and this is why me and Turf were trying to tell you, hey man, you don't got to know these people that we're talking about. Just watch it and tell us if you like it or not.
Right.
Because I'll guarantee you, by Christmas, Spence, by Christmas of this year, you're going to be asking me and Turf about a fighter that you really like. And you're going to be like, hey, what do you think of this person? Because he's from my area. And I really, and you're going to get to know all of them. Don't worry. It'll come. Don't worry. It's just like bringing a baseball fan in. When they're new, it's all right, buddy. But eventually you'll understand why we like baseball. Same thing. Okay. So Spence, Allegiant Stadium holds 65,000. So I'll assume it's at least 65,000. Kind of hard to fill a stadium like that. Wouldn't you agree, Spence? Like,
I don't
it'd
think
be pretty
so.
tough.
Not for a boxing match.
They haven't done that ever. Yeah. I mean, for a boxing match in Japan, it's easy. For a boxing match in the UK, it's easy, right? But in America, dude, like what everybody's saying, what they're saying, with Stephen A. Smith not even talking about it correctly, like, I don't know, bro. Like, you would agree it's probably going to be pretty tough, right?
It's like, to me, it's like Formula One, right? Like the fans are going to come, even if they're abroad. They're going to come.
Okay. Well,
right? That UK stadium filled up with 65. You know who's going to fly over here if we don't buy the tickets? They will.
So that's. I'm glad you said that, Spence. So, Allegiant Stadium is chosen as the location for this huge event that's going to happen on a Friday night of a football weekend. Friday night of a football weekend. And Turki Al-Sheikh is shaking hands with an owner of an NFL team. So are you guys paying attention to what's happening with boxing? Because if you're not, September is a long time from now. Don't worry. But when it gets here, if you're a football fan, you're going to be like, hey, dude, do you know about this Canelo Crawford fight happening at Allegiant Stadium on the Friday before Football Sunday? Because they're actually going to run it on regular American commercials, and then you're going to know about this event. And you know why it'll sell out, Spence? Because just like what you just saw on the Riyadh card, they're going to put every country in this bad boy. Okay? They're going to put all these, and the Mexicans are going to fly in. The UK people are going to fly in. the Japanese people are going to fly in. And this is going to be a hotbed on a Friday night in Vegas, bro. At Allegiant Stadium, because they need to make sure that it's ready to go for football, right? Okay? Now, I say that to say this. The reason why it's going to work, Spence, is because yesterday, TKO, which for you guys who don't know who that is, it's in the New York Stock Exchange. The TKO group, owned by Ari Emanuel, who owns Endeavor, which if you know Hollywood, you would know that Endeavor is one of the biggest companies for being agents for movie stars like, I don't know, The Rock and, like all these, John Cena. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know who these people are, dude. I'm just saying, like, they right? I say that sarcastically.
Right.
But they also happen to own WWE, the TKO group, and they own the UFC. So if you take away just the UFC because you don't watch it, WWE is a pretty big product, right? Yeah. Lots of different viewers from lots of different ages watches it, right?
Right.
Well, they just bought into boxing. That's who Turki Al-Sheikh signed the deal with.
No, I signed a few deals. Yeah.
So Sam, I think it was Sam or somebody earlier when you guys were talking about the regular sports in America, right? Was like, oh man, this is going to be big for boxing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The reason why it'll be big for boxing for your kids, Spence, is because that's what's going to happen. Is Dana White's going to do an American boxing league that's going to feel like the UFC
promotion
for all the up-and-coming boxers.
That's what they need.
Yeah.
That's what they need.
He's essentially trying to create like an NFL team, but for boxers.
Well, the only problem is, and this is definitely where we're going to, get up out of here. The only problem I see with this, one of the big bumps in the road is the reality that people are going to catch losses on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And Americans are too fickle. They're too tuned out into hearing about anything unless it's a phenom type situation. So that's one of the things we'll have to deal with, I'm saying, in the sport.
Turf, let me just say this to that argument though.
Around it. I mean, yeah, I'm just
No, but Turf, let me just say this. Hey Spence.
You're gonna
Spence, let me ask you a question. Do you remember Gotti Ward?
Vaguely.
Arturo Gotti versus Mickey Ward?
It's only hardcore people, yeah.
No, but you kind of don't remember Arturo Gotti and Mickey Ward fighting?
No,
not that much.
I remember the names. I don't.
Okay, you kind of remember names. Okay, yeah. So Turf.
Yeah.
You know for a fact that Arturo Gotti and Mickey Ward both had a ton of losses.
No, and yet that's what I'm saying.
And yet people still watch them, dude.
I agree, but that's back then, bro. That ain't now. That's not gonna happen. I'm just letting you know that's not gonna happen.
Well, we'll find.
Not this American crowd. That's not gonna happen.
Well, hopefully the younger generation will learn.
If the product's good, people will follow, and if they build
product
up
will be good.
the fighters,
right? It's. I'll put it to you guys this way. I definitely got to get out of here. But the thing is, look, they don't even make movies anymore. You know why? Because they don't sit through them. That's why you're seeing a lot of short films and all this new stuff coming. The people that are younger, they don't sit through this stuff, bro. So I just want to make sure. I mean, look, boxing is my world. It's always been, even before football, which is odd. It's wild. It's crazy, and a lot of people don't know that about me. But it's the truth. It was my first love. It wasn't football. But even I can see the writing on the wall when it comes to certain things, and I can assure you the American public has. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you what. As long as there's somebody that is 32-0 with knockouts and they are that champion, yes, you always will have somebody paying attention. But the attention span of an American today, I mean, it's already proven. This isn't me talking. This is facts. They don't even have the attention span to watch a movie that's an hour anymore. So.
Yeah, we don't watch the NBA anymore.
No, all of it is done, dude. All of it is
we don't watch college basketball until the time.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. But I mean, don't mean we can't do great. It don't mean it won't do great. It doesn't mean there won't be another Muhammad Ali. That's the whole thing. That's the whole point. Before there was a Jack, there's always going to be something. I just want to put things in proper perspective.
They don't have to be American, but it would help.
Well, and just to say this for you too, Spence. So I failed to mention this earlier. The American boxing group, the American boxing market, the American boxing athletes, we actually do dominate 135 to 154.
Easy.
We dominate
all the time.
Okay, but the problem is, Spence,
Heavyweight.
when I say to you names like Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Gervonta Davis, Virgil Ortiz, Fundura, like I'll say all these American names and you just aren't going to know about it, which is sad because these are all like two of the names I just mentioned to you won the silver medal for us. And they're world champions right now. So from what
I don't even remember boxing
in the Olympics, right?
I know it's there, but I didn't watch any of the matches.
And that's part of the reason why the whole TKO group that handles WWE, I think their overall plan is to start with with just American talent names, bring them up to that 10-0 kind of records, right? And they're also gonna do combines. They're gonna do more storytelling,
right?
So that you know who these youngsters are.
They're gonna have to. I mean, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of new ways they're gonna have to market this stuff. And look, you're talking to somebody that loves this, eats, sleeps, and drink, and will continue to. Especially when I can settle down and not be running around. I can't wait till I don't have to run around track meets, gymnastics, right? But I do.
You know what, Turf? How come you never put your kids into jiu-jitsu or boxing?
They all did. Every last one of them was. Spencer. My daughter was armbarring people forever till gymnastics completely.
Oh, okay.
I got pictures of her and all kind. I got a picture of her in the pink gi, let alone all the other white gi, regular blue gi.
Now, so here's a question, Turf. If your daughter, instead of going to gymnastics, would have told you, Dad, I want to be an MMA fighter, would you have let her?
100%. I was with the best. I'm with one of the best teams in the game.
Wow, that's hardcore, Spence.
Hey, shout out to Travis Took. Shout out to
She
Team
probably would have killed it in MMA too.
Exactly. She was mean with that armbar, man. Real talk. It's the funniest. I got tape. I got tape with it.
Just man, that's hardcore, Turf.
Oh yeah. Now my boys, I'll keep it a beam. My boys, they didn't like it at all.
Okay.
They never liked any kind of. They were like me, bro. They were like me. I think they'll be late bloomers, bro. There was no way you were getting me on the ground in a onesie wrestling dudes in high school or anything before.
What if your boy right now? What if your boy right now said to you, "Hey, Dad, I want to learn boxing."
I'd take him into the ring yesterday. Him into the ring yesterday, and it will be on and cracking. It's just they not built like that right now. You know what I mean? And they've been watching me watch boxing since day one. They can tell you, oh yeah, Dad is always in the. I mean, hell, I'm in combat, but they've watched me spar and fight in Muay Thai. They watched me fight in multiple high level jiu-jitsu tournaments. They know Dad fights for fun. So yeah, this has always been something. How
about you, Spence? If any of your kids walked up to you and said, "I want to do any MMA or boxing," would you let them?
Yeah, absolutely. But
bingo.
The big thing is that now that we know more, right? Like you're starting to see all these football players that have CTE and stuff. Like, let's face it. Like, if you're a boxer, your later years are not going to be good. They just aren't.
Nope.
Right? I mean, you had front and center. You had Muhammad Ali. I mean, the dude looks like a mutant walking around.
It's why the sport has, and all these kids. All of the pastimes, right? Even freaking baseball is dying, and people are complaining about, you don't get any athletes or the people in these other sports anymore. Bottom line is money. Is money, people, and then even that, I can't even say it's money anymore because, we're a first world country. Like, I don't know. Y'all gonna start getting me in trouble, man. You start talking about ghettos and hoods here as opposed to in the third world countries. Like, dude, we're living in paradise out here with the third world. Yeah.
No, I'm glad Turf is bringing that up because it's the end of the show anyway. So I will say, I will say this: a Filipino kid who came here, being born in the Philippines, right? Who came here, who did not live rich and had a single mom, who made it seem like everything was fine. But when I went back during my visits in my 20s, I was like, damn, I can't believe we actually lived in this neighborhood after being in the United States of America.
Right.
During the Reagan years, right? But what I'll say is that boxing as a sport as a whole, including the United States, the best fighters are all coming out of those very neighborhoods that Turf is talking about.
Right.
And the reason why I believe that boxing is dominant outside of the U.S. is because there's a lot of third world type stuff happening, third world problems, I'll say, happening outside the U.S. So if you're in Russia and they tell you, hey, you're going to get a stipend to go into this academy, but you're going to be a boxer from this age to this age, you're probably going to do it because it's going to help your household, right? Same thing in every country, right? That's why so many great Mexican boxers. Well, a lot of boxers in Mexico start fighting professionally for money at like 14 years old. Like that's just how they do things, right?
Yeah.
So you're right, Spence. Like in the United States, there's a lot of options. And if you're big and talented, you can go to baseball, football, basketball. Where I will take that step back now though is what Jake Paul has shown everyone is that if you dedicate enough time, you could literally be garbage and work hard enough
and still
to at least still get in the ring. And I would hope that right now there's a lot of Raider players that are currently taking boxing here in Las Vegas as a part of the regular training. That's kind of a Max Crosby thing too, right? I would hope that if any one of them, like Jacoby Myers, let's say for whatever reason he was great for the Patriots. You know, Turf, I love him. You disagree with me, but I love Jacoby Myers. I really do.
I already told Turf if he doesn't want him, we'll take him back.
I know you guys want him. I know he's amazing. Jacoby Myers to me is amazing. I'll tell you also why I think he's amazing, Spence. From what I hear from the ground, what I'm hearing, Jacoby's one of the better boxing football players that's training right now.
Right.
He's really actually like getting into it, and he's pretty good at it, right? Like he's pretty athletic. So God forbid something happens to Jacoby Myers in terms of playing football. I want him to play football. I prefer him he plays for the Raiders. I prefer he becomes an all-pro for the Raiders. But having said that, he's doing boxing now, Spence.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Like, he might as well, come on over. Like, you might as well. Right?
Spence, tell the people where we can find you, man. Where's your channel at, man? Talk to them.
So I'm Titletown Sports Talk.
Titletown Sports Talk.
On YouTube, I'm the Titletown Sports Talk on Instagram and Titletown Sports Talk on.
X. What is it?
Like,
formerly known as Twitter.
It's Spencer Young TST on there. I couldn't get Titletown Sports Talk. Taken, but
all good, man.
That one's just my name.
Raider Pete in the building.
And shout out to Spence, by the way, Turf, because I send him a lot of stuff. And Spence looks at it. So thank you, Spence. Thank you.
Angelo, you tell the people where we can find you at, man.
So just like Spence,
we're gonna have the
I know. I'm gonna plug it. But just like Spence for right now, and believe me, for you guys who are asking, everybody keeps saying I should just do my own thing. And even when I go to the other boxing shows, they're like, "Hey man, we're trying to find your channel." And I'm like, "I don't have one." But you can just follow me on Reyes Boxing. Very easy.
Bingo.
Reyes Boxing on Instagram.
Bingo.
If you're a Raider fan, if you're a football fan, if you're an all sports fan, and you want to get tuned up to boxing, I promise I will send it to you so that you can get it all for free and you can see how amazing it is. And in the meantime, somewhere in the near future, hopefully before all these amazing, hopefully before the Cinco de Mayo event. I'll say that.
It'll happen.
Hopefully before Cinco de Mayo.
Well before Cinco de Mayo, yeah.
Well, you keep saying that. See, Spence, he's been teasing me about this because last year he said to me, "Oh, don't worry, we're gonna do it at this
I
time."
didn't realize it was going to be
Right?
what it is.
And then he was like, "Don't worry, Angelo, it's gonna happen before the Better Be a Bevo fight."
I didn't know
Spence,
college gymnastics
got a
was this
precedent.
wild.
Spence.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Spence, check this out. Better Biev and Bivol have already fought twice, Spence. Twice! And Turf still doesn't have the show up ready for us. So it's all good, though, ladies and gentlemen. It's all good. So, but pretty soon, and again, hopefully before the Cinco de Mayo event, you will find me, the coach, at the Knockout Canvas on YouTube with the Professor Turf and me chopping boxing and other MMA sports up with you guys. And mainly, again, we want you guys to know that when me and Turf get to talking, it will feel like what we're trying to do with Spence.
Correct.
We're trying to just bring you in, man. We're not trying to scare you.
Yeah, just get you.
We don't care if you don't know who they are.
We just want y'all to know who the teams are.
Exactly.
The easiest way to explain it. Right now, nobody even knows what teams are out there, who's a vet, right? That's really... You don't even know the exists like that. We're going to teach y'all the league and get you there.
Right.
So, cool. Hey, this was a great show. We got to teach Angelo how we get out of here, man.
Yeah, how do you guys get out of here?
Hey, we're from Texas right now.
We hook them.
Even though we're from Northeast. But you know anything about that horn?
Oh, the Texas Longhorns?
Yeah,
you guys do the hook 'em?
That's how we get out of here.
You do the hook 'em?
That's how we get out of here.
Shout out to Kelvin Banks. You should be a Raider.
So, hey, till the next episode, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, this was a fire show. Appreciate you.
That's it.
Hook 'em.
Hook 'em.
Peace.